we are going to be playing a game. Basically, the entire party is on the planet of Mars. We are in one of the oldest cities on Mars, one of the original colonies that was set up back when the humans first came out here, and the original last remnants of humanity had started everything before. This is where the vector program may have even originated at. I don't know. I'm just making this up because it's not really clarified in any of the lore, so I can do
Oh,
whatever I want.
sure.
But
Blame me.
this is one of the founding locations of Vector Society. You'd think that over the last 900 years, this may have been kind of a mecca or a bastion place, but it has been actually a site of corporate takeovers. Over the last several hundred years, this city in particular has been bought and sold and traded and rebranded 6 times. It was originally the colony of Newest York. It is now under a new banner, um, known mostly as a large percentage of the corporate ownings are Progenitus, and it has been rebranded Possibility. They're a icon of what society should be. They are trying to make a golden, civilization out of this city. They are trying to prove a lot of things that can be done under their work.
This is the topside city, right?
This is the top of the city.
Okay.
This, where you guys are going to be, is the dredges. A city this old has an infrastructure that goes miles into the ground. They had massive engines and generators and such that were used. Some of these things are abandoned terraform equipment and things like that are way deep down below the city. This is where the people go who ran into too much debt, people who needed to get away from the law, people who had to get away from regular society, and they went deeper and deeper and deeper. And normally in most cities, what they would do is they leave kind of like these paste tube things going where no one goes hungry, but you won't be happy, kind of things. It's kind of this humanitarian thing that they have going, but they also don't really police it down there. So what ends up happening is gangs form and they control the resources down there. So people do starve and people do suffer and people don't have medicine, and it's just a dreary, kind of a terrible place. But the people down there don't live lives like those in regular society. They get to live much more callously and much more freely and have their own belief set. There's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? They're not the colleges, but the
Universities?
not universities.
Grottos.
The grottos.
Oh.
This there's a lot of different types of grottos that have sprung up and kind of tried to exist down here, because down here their beliefs and their choices can't be really, you know, attacked as easily.
How dare you not control the corporate hierarchy? Like, look at all the goodness it's done for us. Where's my paste?
Where's my paste? Aaron and Amelia, you're both residents from down here. You've spent your entire lives down here. Aaron much more sheltered, and Amelia a lot more all over the place, as I recall. Let's start with Aaron. I want you to kind of let's describe your adorable little blip, and we'll go forward from there.
Okay. Oh wow! Way to put the pressure on me. Jeez.
I know I'm doing this so that way everyone else has a moment, because Tygon's still making his character sheet.
I'm just picking up the last pieces of equipment.
Okay. Erin is a blip. Rather humanish in appearance, though with strangely pointed ears. Obviously, people down here couldn't have afforded to commission a blip child. He was in fact stolen as a baby from a progenitus facility, raised down here. He's cute looking. He's rather feminine, but incredibly grubby. It's all hidden under muck and dirt. Nice blonde hair is now dark brown, so on and so forth. And clothes are tattered, hand-me-downs. And unfortunately, Erin has not in with most of the other kids, and it's quite the loner. not by choice, but just by circumstance.
Okay. And Amelia, let's kind of go over you really quick.
1 second, my mouth is just full of fried rice.
My mouth is full of things I wish not to describe on the internet.
That's not very in character.
Yes. Apparently somebody found the food tube.
The tube has been acquired.
Pardon me.
Pardon me as I break character.
Okay. Amelia was born down here. She's not one of the people who fell on hard times and was, or came down here looking for adventure or escape. She was born and bred to the Undercity dwellers. So she has lived down here her entire life, and that has really led her to grow up with an incredible amount of bitterness towards the corporations. And she has a serious problem with authority. So she has looked for her, purpose and meaning in the Undercity gangs, and just kind of all around become just a really aggressive, gross loner, who is really, really determined to, in some way, do some good for her community, but is maybe a bit too rough to pull it off right now.
You'll get there someday. All right, so we have the lonely loner. All right. Zev, why don't we go over your beautiful shining light?
I think Steven Universe has ruined me for that word. Every time I hear lonely, I just think of Lonely Blade chucking a double swords at each other. It just doesn't work. Are we starting down there, or at what point in time are we starting?
You are going to be starting in your first couple nights down there. So,
Okay, so
let's just describe your character.
So-
right now.
Describe the color dog.
fairly new, yes.
Yes,
Miko
yes.
is currently a color dog. Miko was not always a color dog. At least she doesn't always think that she was a color dog. She believes that she was at one point an otter who was in the blip engineering business, who created custom bodies for people, primarily for their children, so scratch builds from the ground up, and became so enamored with this kind of magical, different life that they lived that she sort of tipped a little off the deep end, and came up with this grand plan that she was going to create a second version of herself that would exist in this sort of fantasy that she had made, where she could be this unique creature that had a bunch of random abilities that she didn't even know about, and would be discovering herself her entire life, and learning new things and having a constant kind of transformative experience. And she ultimately grabbed it one night, stole her company's assets, and decided to go for it, transferred her brain into a new body, and upon waking up in this brand new form, came to the realization that there was going to be no happiness for the previous version of her, and killed herself on the table to continue her existence in this new body, as opposed to leaving a version of her behind that would never particularly be happy being what she was. And that's kind of where she's at the moment. She's wanted by the RAPF, obviously, for murder and exploitation of company assets, which was a big no-no. But she's really enjoying trying to figure out what she is. Only she's beginning to pick up little hints that the version of herself that she had thought that she ended might not have actually been entirely accurate. She knows things she shouldn't know. There are parts of her past that aren't adding up, and she's beginning to kind of discover that it might be more of a metaphor for a larger mystery than an actual thing that occurred. So it's kind of step by step. She fled the underworld because she can't. She's wanted for all kinds of terrible things right now up top. Since that was,
she's kind of showy, so
she's pretty showy, and she's actually, she knows two things. She knows that she's happy being what she is. It was a decision that she made deliberately, and there must have been some reason for it. And she knows that what she remembers in her past can't be completely accurate. Parts of it are just wrong. So she's trying to figure out what those parts are.
Alright, and I'd like to hear about Zuri from Tagon.
Well, Zuri is a cock of the wheeled variety.
A cog. How strange.
I know.
Yes.
How exotic.
and she is in a lioness shape, and just as a brief physical description, she is on the small side.
Hmm.
According to this highly accurate picture I'm looking at, she's actually bending over to speak to this other character, so I'm
I'd like
afraid
to
I'm going
point
to have
out
to
the
veto
other
you.
character is like 18 years old, and
It's just gonna. Maybe it's the stilts on the wheels.
I think it's the
Yeah,
wheels just make her look taller.
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Also, it's not pictured, but she's actually standing on a box.
Yeah, she's actually being hefted up on a crane. She's floating.
They just
with on the small side, I mean, uh,
Small
uh,
in shape and stature, kind of like she's not a light person. Maybe is that what you mean?
yeah, that and also it's like most people assume that she's not on her final body.
Well, I can see why they think that.
Um, and but what else? I figure she has been down here maybe for a couple of weeks,
Okay.
and the reason she is down here is there was recently a non not closer specified tragedy in her life, which cost her her family and her identity,
Oh my.
and she had no other choice but go down here because there's no place up there for people like that.
Oh, that's very sad. I feel bad for Zuri, and then all that's about to happen to her. Okay, so.
Behold, the additional tragedies soon to befall you.
Oh, now guys, maybe we shouldn't run tonight. I think I need to do a non-tragic rewrite really quick. Okay. So, all right. So we kind of have an idea who the characters are. So we'll kind of dive into this. Aaron,
Ah,
it was about 8 hours ago you left home. You've been wandering alone. Every once in a while, the coolant systems pick up in the air high above you guys. You can hear the DM reaching for the rain to play in Roll20.
I
But
dig it. I dig it. Oh, look at that! Such immersion.
So that's just immersion. You get the oily, cool water comes pouring down from the sky on regular intervals to keep the great turbines above from overheating as they give power to the city above you guys. The streets are dark and rusty and gray and filth, as you'd expect from something so far down below. It's very dark. There are lights on various buildings that are flickering. Everything's kind of old and abandoned, and the lights that do run and are on are usually because somebody has tried to reroute or steal some power, or maybe has a backup battery generator that they got from somewhere, but it's usually fleeting, but it feels comforting to be in it. You're finding yourself up against a wall in an alleyway. The last 5 people that you've tried to approach have ran off, and it's cold.
um,
You've never been
okay.
this far out alone.
It's cold. I'm going to try and look around, see if there's somewhere I could, I'll just hunker down.
Okay. You can find what appears to be kind of a building that looks like it's been partially collapsed. Um, that looks like a vehicle may have collided with it at some point and busted down one of the walls, but there is a dry space inside where there is shelter.
Okay, I'm gonna go curl up in there.
All right, so you can go curl up in there, and for a time, it is quiet, and it is all right. Amelia,
Yes.
it is. How many weeks have you been with the group? How long
Uh,
do you want to have been with this great new gang that you joined?
uh, I hadn't thought about it. I thought I had been probably in there for a while.
All right, we'll say probably for the last 6 months, because you're
Okay.
you're fairly young, right? So you've
Yeah.
probably been around a bit, and 6 months is a long time for something like this.
Yeah.
So for the last 6 months or so, you've been working there, and you got word this morning. Stottle wants to see you.
Okay. I'll go see him like just late enough to be annoying.
Yeah, just on that edge of they hate you for it, but they're used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get into the compound. You know from being with them for a while that, as is with a lot of the gangs you've been with down here, they have to move a lot. The IRPF is hunting people down here, especially organized gangs, because whenever a gang gets organized, it usually leads to attacks or things like that. They have a lot of reasons why they go after gangs. But there's a lot of new faces here today, a lot of dirty, grubby kids. Some of them you can remember from when you were a kid. I mean, some of them are maybe half again your age, and some of them are closer to your age, but you can kind of see them, and you see that kind of lost look in their eyes, as they kind of hand around their little bowls of that white pasty porridge that you've kind of come to accept as, you're thankful for it. You're thankful when you have it, but you see them kind of, carefully dishing it out amongst themselves. And it's been kind of weird for you to be amongst this group of kids, because it seems to be enforced that they don't tolerate the infighting here, whereas many of the other gangs you've been in, the stronger ones take what they want, right?
Yeah.
And Stottle's been trying to even out the kids have to share, that they have to do that. And he's come down on you a couple times, because you that reflex is, I need to live, right? I need my stuff. And it's been hard, but he also, you like him because he takes those risks that you think should happen. All right, well, you get in there, and Stottle is got his hands at his head, and he's a hemivector. You can tell he's partially canine. His face is kind of disfigured to one side. The jaw kind of distends partially farther on one side than the other, and there's almost kind of like a permanent sneer where his lips don't curl up quite right, because they're not quite long enough to close the gap. His eyes are slightly offset, and one of his ears is longer and pointier than the other. He's kind of almost very very kind of grotesque, and his look is something that would have been corrected if he'd been born up top. But that he was born down here, and that whatever went wrong with his with the pregnancy when he was a child just never got fixed. One of his legs is actually slightly taller than the other, and it gives him kind of a weird a step when he goes. It looks like a limp, but it's really just that little bit of extra length on one side, and it causes him a bit of discomfort. Amelia, about frickin' time you got in here.
It's like, yeah. What's up? What do you need?
Got word of somebody. I want you to get him for me.
Like, how getting is this? What kind of gear should I take?
I don't know. What you got?
I've got stuff that I kill people in, and I've got stuff that I don't.
I don't want you to kill him.
Yeah, I know. I just come on. Are there people that I gotta go through to get them?
I don't know. Look, if you'd
Awesome.
been here a couple hours ago, it might have been a bit easier, but they've been on the move.
Okay, well,
All right.
you should have called me a couple hours earlier then.
I called you as soon as I knew. I was told you were asleep.
I don't know. I'll ask around where I was when you called.
He's kind of squints at you, but all right. Look.
Like the corners of my lips turn up just a tiny bit.
Yeah. I swear you kids think you need secretaries. All right. Look. One of the families here, one of the old ones, their kid ran off, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're taboo. No one's going to touch them.
Mm.
I want them before the spirals get them.
Yeah, I got it. I'm on it.
You know that Aaron kid, that little girl?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, what's your parents' names? Your two mothers?
The fuck?
My
My one weakness.
Sasha and Henrietta's daughter. You know,
Real quick.
the two nobody's supposed to talk to.
Let me write this down quick.
These are your names now.
I'm old enough to know what they did, right?
Yeah, you're old enough to know the rumors of what they did. He goes, you know the ones we slip shit to. We get in trouble about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they fucked up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I remember that.
Their kid's loose. The kid don't know shit. Don't let him get shot.
Don't worry about it. I got it.
Bring him back here. We'll see what we're gonna do to him. With him. Shifty eyes.
I don't like this.
Oh,
Oh dear.
the tragedy begins already.
I just kind of staring at him now, just like.
If you had been here a few hours earlier, this could have been a lot different. All right. He grins to himself about that, by the way, because he thinks that's pretty funny. He goes, all right, go get him. They were last seen. He pulls up. He's got a really shite map, and you can tell it's been drawn with chalk on a regular wall, and the lines aren't straight and not quite right. But this is what they do: is every time they get a new place, they draw vague outlines on there, but they don't mark anything down because if they have to leave, they don't want the IRPF knowing where their caches are. So he points out a section of the street, and he's like, "They're last seen over there. Gotta get them. You gotta get them pretty quick. Also, if you see Tony, he hasn't come back yet. Okay?
Okay.
Go get him and bring him back here, and we'll figure out what we're doing after that. But they're about a click from Spiral territory."
Okay, so. Yeah, okay, then I know what I need to take.
Okay. Get out of here.
I just walk out.
What the hell, man? All right, and you get out, and a lot of the younger kids here kind of look at you with that starry-eyed look of like an idol, because you've been here long enough. They've heard of your exploits. They heard you punched an IRPF officer in the face, and whether or not that's true, it has gone like wildfire through these kids.
That is almost certainly true.
I would not deny that under any situation.
So I mean, there's kind of this big pomp and circumstance about who you are as a person as you go through, and one of the kids kind of runs over to you, and it's Tony's kid.
Okay.
And run is a really strong term, because these kids are various different types of vectors, and the very little vector that's running up to you now, he's about 8 years old, and he is a seal vector. He's also a Tor.
Aw.
So the little flippers are going as fast as he can, but it's kind of that little, the seals kind of scoot. He's kind of scooting towards you, all excited, and he grabs you about the leg and looks up at you, kind of adoringly. Amelia, where's my pop? Where's my pop? Where's my papa?
I don't know, kid.
Papa. Cookie.
I don't even. How do you even know what that is? I'm gonna.
Papa said you'd give me one. What is it?
I just leaned down and just yeah. Have you ever had a Hertz donut, kid?
No.
Just slug him in the shoulder. Not that hard.
No, but he makes a big deal about it.
I'm just okay, well, I know how hard I actually hit. I'm gonna ruffle his hair and be like, Hertz donut.
This is when all the other seals are gonna show up. Shut up, kid! Chin up! The universe hates us. We're gonna get paid.
All right, so so you can kind of go wandering out, and you start wandering the streets. I want you to give me a quick logic check of you going through. We'll say difficulty 0. So, what is your mindset? What is your mind?
Let me open my character sheet.
Yes, this is important.
kind of thing
Also,
that
apparently I got messages on Discord. I better go look.
darn it. My computer insists on opening this with Excel every time. There we go. My mind is for Pete's
Do
sake.
you have a mind?
Yeah,
many dots?
sorry, I opened the blank version.
Oh no.
Oh no, your mind is blank. All right, so difficulty
Perceive or
5.
exert.
Just exert.
It's 2.
It's 2. Okay, so that means you're 2 above, which I believe you roll 2d10, and then plus whatever your logic is. I think that's right.
Cool.
I think that's right.
All right, I'm just gonna push this.
The
button twice.
developer or the yeah, that works. Okay, you don't make it.
Yeah. So I have
So
a
you
7.
don't think of like the prime place that she'd be hiding. But you can start. You go out and you start combing that area, and this will take you a couple hours. We are going to go over to Tygon. Zuri. The night before, you've been kind of moving from place to place. You haven't quite found a group of people you can trust down here. It's kind of terrifying. The screaming, the groups of people that move around like in a gang, and you had to sleep someplace kind of questionable last night.
Oh god damn it! I just realized what he did.
Hmm?
Her name is Misery.
Didn't catch that. Oh my god, Tygon, that's evil.
What?
You named your character Miss Zuri. Misery.
You know what? I didn't catch on that.
No, Tygon, you go, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. God, why did it take you guys so long to notice?
Ain't I clever?
I'd like to point out, Miss Zuri loves company.
Ah!
That's great.
She is not
Okay.
doing well on her own, that is right.
She is not doing very well on her own. You wake up this morning in a very strange and kind of terrible circumstance. There
Tygon
is
has-
sounds of chains.
Not again! Not again!
You feel kind of a strain on your arms, and there is this feeling of weightlessness of you being suspended as you
thought things would be
slowly like
different.
open your eyes, and for a brief moment you see the face of a bear vector very close to your head, and then there's a sharp pain at the back of your skull, and it all goes
Ow.
dark.
It's not different at all, is it, Steve?
I have the most horrible of deja vus.
I know, this is so terrible. You wake up suddenly. There is another cog vector. He has the greenest of eyes that are kind of glowing. It looks like a kind of a badger. In the formation of how they did the style of their vector, and then they're in their frame. They have maglev legs.
Oh.
And they're gently patting you on the side of your face. Wake up! Wake up!
What's going
We've got
on?
to get out of here. We've got to get out of here together.
Okay, what happened? Where are we? Where am
Man,
I?
the back of your head just hurts. Oh, it hurts.
Ow.
Look. It's don't worry about it. We're gonna get out of here. You and me together. We're gonna be fine.
Okay.
I won't
What?
let them hurt you.
What's going on? I'm so confused. And ow.
Oh, my name's Alejandro. Who are you?
Zuri. What's that? Something's hurting my head.
He starts pulling you to your wheels, and everything feels wrong. Like when your equilibrium is off and like depth perception isn't quite right. It's like nothing feels tangible right now. He goes. We got to get you back to the agents, right?
Wait,
Hey, who do you work for?
What agents? What?
I mean, you're IRPF too, right?
If someone asks you if
Yes.
you're a god,
Yeah, of course.
Great. Look. I'm not. I just really want to get out of here. They're tearing us all apart, and you're the only person I've seen. And then there's this horrible grinding noise, and your back of your head hurts again.
Ow.
He goes, they're just tearing people apart in here. We've got to get out. You're gonna come with me and help, right?
I'm free. I'm not tied up or anything.
No, you're
right?
not tied up. You're in what appears to be just an empty storage room. It looks like.
Okay.
And you're just on the ground. It's actually weird because it's very bright in here.
Huh. Okay. Well, first I want to feel like the back of my head if there's anything there.
You don't feel anything. God, it hurts. God, it hurts.
Damn it. What? Oh. Okay. Well, where's my stuff? Is my stuff anywhere here?
Oh, you didn't have any stuff, remember?
I was pretty sure I had some.
He looks around and he goes, I don't see anything.
Oh, damn it. There and anything around at all, or is it really just empty room?
It is a strangely stark and empty room.
That is okay. Well, okay, yeah. Then let's get out. Where's the door?
Give me a perception check. Difficulty
Okay.
2.
Body, I presume.
Yeah, body perceive. Yeah.
Where is there? I have 2, and that's 2d8, and no simplification or anything. So that should be it.
You'll be adding whatever your body exert stat is to it. That's the bonus.
I don't think they have a 4 though.
I don't think they
No,
have a
probably
4.
not. But
But,
in the future, you'll be adding your body exert to it.
everything is just kind of spinning and kiltering like this way and that way. It's very nauseating with the pain throbbing at the back of your head, and all you can kind of keep focused on is this badger cog vector, who is one of those, the hexapod one that's helping you.
Okay.
And then he starts like taking you over to the wall, and he puts one of his many arms up against the wall, and he's like, "Here, just steady yourself on this. Let me help you. I'm here to help you. Just let me in, okay? Let me in."
Weren't you maglev just a moment ago?
I don't think that's right. Give me a community perceive.
Oh, that's even worse.
I know. Difficulty 1 on this.
Oh, well, at least something.
Digital torture.
So I.
So you're using
what was
the perceive
you
as your.
start on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your perceive is the way that you're checking difficulty. So you're comparing that to the score.
Mhm.
And then just your stat score is being added to it as the bonus, because there's no proficiency for perception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You needed better luck than that. Better luck
No,
than that would have been good.
It's. I mean, they seem really adamant that they're trying to help you. Maybe it's you're the pain in the back of your head, the disorientation. Maybe you're wrong. There's doubt. There's doubt in your head as you start moving along the wall. And he goes, I'm gonna be with you always. We're gonna figure this out together. It's you and me, Zuri and Alejandro. All right?
Okay.
He's gonna support you as you guys start moving across the wall.
Tygon's gonna be stuck in mind prison forever.
Let's go to somebody else who's in a very similar and terrible situation. Miko.
Wait a minute. What am I doing in a very similar and terrible situation?
Well, when you went to sleep last night, you were in a okay place, you thought.
I didn't ask for this.
You
But
wake
neither did
up.
I. Deal with
You
that.
wake up, and there's the sounds of whip, 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 whip. There's little blips going on. You start to try to move.
Oh shit, they're in the walls!
Something's holding you down. There's a strap across your neck holding you to a table. There are straps across your whole body. In most situations, you think that this was the kind of kinky thing you were into, but it's not because you didn't ask for it.
Nobody's
And
issued me a safe word apparently.
And there's no safe word that has been issued. You can kind of see in front of you well, to your immediate, like, kind of, I'd say right, there is a series of monitors going. You can see some tubes coming out of your body. You have Vitae, right? Or not Vitae, you have new blood, right?
No, I couldn't afford any of that to begin with.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Well, you can see some of your
technically
blood
she
being drained
does,
out.
but I don't currently.
All right, well, you're being drained. And somebody's apparently draining some of your blood out. There is
Hey, I'm pretty sure I need that.
Almost kind of like a 3D X-ray of you going up on a nearby monitor, and it's showing all the delicious chunks of where all your body augmentation, all your special musculature and all that stuff, where each part is located. And it looks like there's cost analysis going on a little blackboard over there of what's most valuable to pull out of you.
She's trying not to look at it because spoilers.
Also, it's like, it's hard to see because you can't turn your head, so you can only see like the bits of it. You can kind of see like there's definitely somebody pulling apart your anatomy on there. And a table ahead of you, you can see what is the remains of a vector. It looks like somebody has torn them open at the chest cavity, ripped their ribs apart, and has been emptying out the insides like a pinata.
Okay, come on, like I can see prison, but I don't think dissection's really warranted.
And just beyond that, you can see 3 or 4 various vectors, including a cog, who is a very pristine white, in a very kind of lovely dingy outfit, with a spike stuck in the back of her head, every once in a while twitching. And there's 2 people in kind of like not like butcher stuff, but near, like, somewhere between a butcher and a surgeon. Kind of those kind of wraps to keep all the blood and everything off, and they are sitting there kind of offhandedly talking as she's moving. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna take. I think we should use a different AI. I don't think it's gonna work. I think that thing's such a piece of shit it won't work. And the other one goes, the boss really took a fancy to this one. It better work. Or, you know how he gets. Why don't we just part her out and say we got mixed up? No, he wants this one. He wants her perfect, and we just gotta fix what's going around in the noggin. And there is a kind of a sudden concern as they realize, one of them kind of turns, because the machine that you're on starts making a different kind of beep, 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 and you can see it kind of lighting up for your brain.
I'm gonna stare at the machine angrily. Traitor.
And one of them goes, "Ah, shit! The dog's awake."
Where?
What?
I don't look like a dog.
And he comes up real close to you and kind of leans in, his large eyes kind of getting up close to yours, and he goes, "Oh, we're gonna love opening you up, pretty. What are you, bioprobe?"
If I said yes, would it give me more options?
Why are you down here?
I appear to be strapped in.
He kind of takes a moment, like he doesn't quite get the joke, because he's a little slow in that way. And then he goes, "Oh, my apologies, princess. Here, let me just give you a fine dose of hospitality." And he pulls out a needle.
I'm okay. I mean, the straps are nice. They're fun. It's
like
good.
A big one, just kind of.
I was better off with the straps, honestly. If we could just I'm okay with the straps.
Your mouth starts to go kind of cottony as the drugs start to hit in.
No, wait, come on.
As you're starting to kind of have this blurriness and things are starting to kind of go a little gauzy.
You're gonna break that cog. You're not doing it right.
You hear the other guy go, "Shit, man, we're trying to get the blood out of it first. Don't drug it." Turn the freaking machine on. And there's a lot of yelling, and there's just like a blur of movement that starts happening as everything starts to go dark again. Aaron.
Hi.
Hi. Are you still here with me? You're good. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Just making sure. All right, so Aaron, you kind of wake up and there's a lot of noise outside,
Oh,
like a vehicle moving through.
oh, I wish to peeky peeky, but sneaky sneaky.
All right, sneaky sneaky for me, and then peeky peeky.
Okay,
And it's difficulty 0 on peeky peeky, but difficulty 2 on sneaky sneaky.
okay. Difficulty 2 on sneaky sneaky, which makes it difficulty 0 for me on sneaky sneaky because of my double simplify. So that's
When
2d10.
your double simplifies.
3 target 10. Okay, yeah, a sneaky sneaky, but not too hard to spot.
Not too hard to spot. Okay.
And then difficulty 0, peeky peeky, you said?
Mhm.
Okay, save. D8 plus D10, because I'm above. Plus 2. Nope, no peeky peeky.
Okay. You get close to the edge of the broken building that you're in, trying to look around, and you can't quite make anything out, but you can definitely hear the sounds of a vehicle, a heavy engine moving close by, and you don't quite catch it. Amelia, give me a body perceive as well. Difficulty 0. So what is your body stat? Body exert?
My
Or body perceive, sorry.
perceive is 2.
Okay, so that means you're 2 above, so you roll 2d10 and then add your exert.
All right. My exert is a +2.
Mhm.
Oh no, that didn't.
You didn't
Shoot.
do it?
Macro didn't work.
It didn't work. Try again.
Macros. Fancy.
That works. All right.
14.
So, all right. Amelia, you start coming down one of the streets. You've been at this for hours now, and you're probably getting a little sour about it. Looking for this damn kid, right? That you know is trying to hide, and you're pretty sure you got the rough end of the stick here. And
I
you
would
start
be.
hearing a vehicle coming,
There we
and oh.
Sorry, that was just testing a macro. I fixed
Oh,
it.
okay. Well, you start hearing a vehicle coming, and ahead of it, you hear footfalls. Somebody's running down the street. As you see that, I'm assuming you kind of slick yourself up against a building and try to
Yeah.
get out of sight. You see a steel vector running at breakneck speed. He's putting it all out, which is actually given like the various feelings people have about the athleticism that seals have, he's doing a pretty good job.
Tony.
Yeah, it's Tony. And you see him running. He's got a big old backpack on his shoulder, and he was out for something today. And he's running as fast as he can down the street, and he looks like he's about to dive into a building, and then he stops and turns, goes right past. Aaron, you hear somebody skit to a halt, almost come into the building you're in, and then turn. And then he sees you at the end of the road, duck up against the building, and he looks around, kind of panicked, and then he throws the bag. And Aaron, a heavy rucksack lands next to you. And about then, this massive IRPF patrol vehicle, it's on a hover thing, comes rounding the corner. Attention, citizen! Stop!
By that point,
You
I
are
would have
under
already.
arrest! Huh?
So by that point, I would have already started towards him. But when I see like the scope of the patrol, just like skidding to a stop and like diving into garbage.
Yeah. So give me a stealth roll.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2, body
Yep.
exert.
Yep, body exert. So what is your body's a 2? So
Yeah.
so you roll 2d8, and then we'll add whatever your stealth is.
My stealth is 1. So
All right.
I have.
All right. Do you have any focuses?
I believe so. Let me double check my
All right.
doodly-doo here.
You might.
I have
This
4
might
of
be
them.
a time.
Yeah.
All right. It takes 2 to reroll the 1, but I think it is a good choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Just hope you don't roll worse.
All right. So you're up to 9. So we'll just have to hope that they don't spot on a 9, because right now a 9 is what they have to.
That's
do their thing for.
No,
that's
if
a
you don't, if
10.
you get below the target, you're just not hidden. They don't have to roll to see that.
Okay.
That's a 10.
That was a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
I
have
got
any
plus
more
1.
focus?
Yes. I have 2 more.
Okay, you might want to just put it all in there to succeed.
Okay.
No,
12.
it's a trap. Don't use up
Yeah,
your focus.
don't listen to the guide. Come on.
Well, I mean, it's up to you. If you want to do it, you don't have to do it.
I feel like, yeah, I'll risk going up on that. Yep. Okay, there we go.
So I'm down 3. And
So-
that is now a 13.
They only need to get it to a 12.
Yeah,
He re-rolled a dice rather than.
Oh, you rerolled
Bump
the
up,
dice.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, then that you got it then. All right, so you managed to throw yourself
that's the
into
way
the
it works, right?
trash.
Well,
Yeah,
you can use them to just give yourself +1s for
Yeah.
point for point.
But the re-roll ended up better.
But the reroll worked anyway.
Mm-hmm. And Aaron, I actually do want another stealth from you just because you're hiding from different things now.
Oh,
At
okay.
a different angle. So we'll see how you get.
Same
Because I'm
difficulty.
assuming you kind of slugged in more after the bag came in.
Yep. Okay. Target 10. Okay, I'm
Holy
good.
crap. All right. The seal puts his hands up, drops. He has this moment of you can tell he turns his head like he wants to look back to see where Amelia was. Well, Amelia, you can kind of tell that. I don't think Aaron can from their vantage. They didn't make it, but you can tell he fights the urge to look back at you. And then he starts moving his hands up, still holding his weapons for a moment, as the 4 IRPF officers start piling out. He drops his weapon and he gets sent down to his knees as he starts getting dragged off in this vehicle. You can hear them reading off the counts of burglary, trespassing, public indecency, nudity. They just start making shit up. You get the feeling that they're just saying, they're saying attacking an officer. If it's any of this shit is true, Tony is an idol for what he may have just done.
I
Yeah.
would be memorizing it to spread his legend, but she's just like laying there, like staring at her gun and gritting her teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Just like,
Yeah.
no, gotta let it go, gotta let it go.
Gotta let it go. Yeah, and then they load Tony into the back of the vehicle. After they get a few free punches in, and you've seen this behavior before. Sometimes they will, just because they got you doesn't mean it's over, right? So
Yep.
you see them get a few good hits on him. For his measure, he says a couple really good, marvelous quips against, authority that I'm not witty enough to come up with that kind of repartee. But he says a couple things of you idiots and whatever, and they load him up and they start driving away. And you saw where he threw the bag. After several moments, they're clear, and it's just you in that street hiding in the garbage.
I'll drag myself out. Like put my gun away, and I'm gonna head that direction, just like plodding.
Okay. Aaron's going to be checking the bag once it sounds like the IRPF have left.
All right, in the bag there is 1 prosthetic arm. There is 2 perk kits, a chocolate bar. There are several stims and puffs and just a lot of medical supplies, it looks like. There is also some ammunition for a pistol.
Aaron is going to start trying to squirrel some stuff away.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate bar first, primary objective. Is the ammo marked?
It's pretty generic looking, but it's good for pistols kind of thing.
Okay. He's going to squirrel the chocolate bar away, and then
probably marked as what is it? Armor piercing. That's that ammo.
Okay.
So.
Grab a couple magazines and then start trying to shoulder the bag, and then he's going to peek out and see if the coast is clear.
All right. Amelia, as you started kind of moving up the street, you see your mark poking her head out with that bag over their shoulder.
I was gonna. It's like, well, that's a stroke of luck then. I was like saying that out loud and just like trudging up to her.
Oh, Aaron is tucking back in.
Roll
a
for
panic.
initiative.
Ah! Aaron pulls out the new ammo she just got and starts plugging it away into the enemy.
The bag gets tossed out. Like, sorry. I thought you were gone. Wait.
Sorry, I didn't foresee any consequences.
You have the chocolate bar. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I'm just walking up and just leaning. Is it like a low like hole? Like you said, part of the building was collapsed. Is it? What's the entrance like that I'm looking at here?
There's a doorway, but most of it is the roof is kind of caved in and one of the walls is down. So it's kind of like a triangular like shelter kind of thing right now. It's kind of leaned down on one side. It's pretty dilapidated. It's not much of a shelter, but it was dry.
Okay, so
There's lots of rubbish and garbage in there, though. It's easy to hide.
Yeah. So I just like turning around there. If Erin's looking, what she's gonna see is a tall person in riot armor.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like freaking old, shitty, dinged up riot armor that on the front has a badly drawn cartoon of a lioness like face with a middle finger next to it.
Okay, I think
Like
that's
big
caused a
toothy
panic.
This is everything your mom's warned you about.
Yeah. Erin is gonna
Lionesses.
I told you, sweetie, don't mess with the cat.
Erin's gonna try and run for it.
That is speciest.
Yeah, so actually, it's not technically speciesist. I'd like to point out you're all vectors. It's ethnic.
I'm not.
That's true. Blip isn't a vector. They're not people.
And Cog is an effector.
Yeah, you're not a person either.
They still count as people.
Hey!
They're not humans. They're not normal. They're not people. Alright, so what are you guys doing?
And Erin's gonna bolt at the sight of that, or try to at least.
Alright, so-
Amelia's just gonna like dive to grab her. He's like, nope.
No. Alright, roll the hit. You have to try and grab. This is gonna be a grapple thing. Good luck catching that.
Oh boy.
Alright, so Aaron, I want you to roll me a reflex save. You're dodging out of the way, but I want them to roll the hit. Because
Okay,
they
so
won't
this
they
is,
won't hit if they fail, so
A dodge save.
yeah, dodge save.
Which is a little different now than it used to be.
Yeah, it's the body exert for target number, and then for every 10 in your evade, it's a +1, right?
So what am I rolling?
Roll your normal attack without a weapon. So
Okay. What dice do I roll for that?
well, what's your body exert?
My body exert is 2.
All right, so roll 2d8, and then add your melee attack bonus.
Okay. That is, where is that? That is a 15.
Okay, we'll see.
That would. But we seem to be mixing systems here, so.
Yeah, because you're trying to.
No,
hit her,
I know, but I need to know if Allie succeeds the reflex save, because Allie gets her full AC if she gets the reflex save. That's what I'm doing with this right now.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
so
why- that's
what's
why I need
defining
the
my
reflex save.
difficulty?
We'll say 2, because it's going to be the same as if you were in combat kind of thing. We'll just do that.
It's
We'll just
usually
do
2 for dodge saves anyway.
Okay.
Basically, if Allie hadn't made it, I was going to consider Allie flat-footed.
Okay, I succeed.
All right, she succeeds.
Even
Alright,
with
so-
my shield unequipped, that doesn't hit my evade.
So basically, you go to reach out for her, and she squirrels out just beyond your fingers and starts taking off running.
I take off after her. It's like, hey, wait. I'm gonna grab the bag as I run.
I'm sorry, please leave me alone.
All right,
just-
so
I want you to
two
be-
of you start making a scene, running down the street together.
I want you to be yelling the recruitment lines as you're chasing her down. Have you considered a life of profound fulfillment? would you like to join a force that is making life better for other people?
a meal a day. It'd be really great. It's not a big meal, but we share.
I'm just like, quit running. I'm here to help you, dummy.
Don't know if I believe you.
Are you yelling that as you run?
Yes.
All right, keep going. Come on.
It's like, hey, who? It's like, come on. I hate running.
What's your movement, by the way?
4.
7.
This kid is just tearing
Okay,
it up as they
Why
run.
don't we try some community?
My community is just my best stat, though.
Yeah, same here.
That'd be exert.
All right. Yeah, let's do exert.
So do. What are my dice on that?
Well, I'm gonna leave you both at 0 on this because
Yeah, make it easy because I'm
Yes.
gullible as fuck. I don't have much to
Okay.
save.
Also, I have a
You're-
fault in communication.
Also, you're not truly trying to lie. You're just
Yeah.
you're just frustrated. That's all it is. Come on, kid, please.
Oh, that's
Co-
the best.
Oh, please, kid, please, kid, please,
Okay.
kid,
For
please.
for the sake of not prolonging it, I will say eventually, Aaron
All right,
slows down wearing.
Unfortunately, after making contact with Aaron, it takes you the better part of nearly 2 hours to get Aaron. Because you keep track of Aaron through this time, but Aaron
Real-
keeps getting ahead of you.
Here's a
and-
question. Here's
yeah.
a major question. Which direction does she run towards?
Ooh.
First, okay, 2 questions. Primary question.
That
Did
is a
we
good
ever
question,
settle-
Aaron. Where do you run?
Did we ever settle on what gang my gang is called?
I was letting you pick. Remember, you were supposed to tell
Oh.
me.
Was I? I thought you
Mhm.
were. Oh, I became. What was the last? Not the like joke suggestion I made.
I don't know. You linked me panty liners last time we talked about it, and that's where
That
our
was a
conversation
joke.
went.
Right, I'm doing
Um,
this. Does seem okay for direction?
I think it was.
I think you were you were
reclaimers?
gonna call it the liners, but then you brought up the panty liners, and then
No, that was a referential joke. I think it was. I think I said something like the reclaimers.
yeah, the reclaimers. That's what you were gonna
Yeah,
call it.
that's it. So are we running towards reclaimer territory, or are we
No,
running?
you're
towards
running-
Spiral?
You're running into contested territory right now.
Okay, well then I'm way more frantic.
Way more panicked.
Way more just like, now stop it, come on.
Please, this is a bad place to run.
I'm
We
like
should-
I'm like a little worm chasing. You're like, don't never go that way.
Okay. Aaron eventually slows down. Don't know where we are now, but yeah.
You're deep in neutral territory right now because it's neutral ground. It's not like in the protection of the reclaimers, which the reclaimers don't have very big territories. It's just this is neutral territory. Anything can happen here. And you guys are making a lot of ruckus, and there's a lot of people kind of poking their heads out, occasionally looking at you guys. You see weapons getting leveled out windows just in case, and
Aaron's trying to catch their breath. What? Why what do you want?
It's like I'm supposed to take you back so that we can help you.
What do you mean help me?
I'm just like looking around.
I gotta get a water
and-
bottle.
Yeah, she's like actually sitting down in the street.
I'm dying.
My kidneys, Jesus Christ.
It's the only reason the chase ended.
I'm just like looking around like for any like I'm looking for eyes that are like, oh, I know somebody. I'm gonna call them.
There's give me a community perceive, because that's unfortunately what you're gonna have to use for this, and this will
Oh,
be
no, I'm bad at
difficulty
that.
1.
Okay, so bloop. I roll.
think that-
roll 20.
What's your community perceive?
It's 1.
Oh, so we met this. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. What's your?
Yeah.
Oh, that's You don't have any. You're bleary. You've been running. You don't know if there's people there or not. You're paranoid.
And it's like just like dragging myself back up to my feet. I'm gonna take my helmet off. So she's just like, a young lioness with very badly dyed hair in stripes of blue, red, and white, and it was like really, really odd looking yellow eyes. It's just like,
we gotta get out of here. You don't know where you are. Come on.
I'm just like,
I kind of knew where I was before you started chasing me.
I'm just like, I'm not even waiting around. I'm just grabbing her arm and just kind of pulling her to her feet. It's like, come on, we gotta go.
Okay, Erin, being about 10 or 11, does not actually have much in the way of physical strength, so I'm not even going to say they resist well. So, yeah, Erin gets stressed out.
There may be some pathetic slapping.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. That kind of thing, right? All right.
Yep.
So, Amelia, you start hauling her down the raining street with little explanation other than we've got to get out of here.
Come with me if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to live. And you start hauling her back to your reclaimer base.
And yeah, just my head is on a swivel, like in every direction.
Mm-hmm. Zuri, you guys have been walking down a long, glowing white hallway. It's weird and clean and sanitary where you're at. So Zuri, tell me, what was it like for you before? I can barely remember my own family. What was it like? Just keep talking to me and just stay with me, okay? You look like you're fading. Your head hurts so bad.
I have such a headache. It's ow.
Mhm.
It was all right. I think it's hard to remember.
It is actually getting hard to remember. You're having a hard time. You can't even like concentrate and think of your family really well. It's hard to think. I mean, all you can remember is like this last bit with Alejandro. That's like you can kind of grasp onto that, but everything else feels like you're reaching through it for sand.
Mm-hmm.
It's very strange. Alejandro suddenly reaches over and grabs the side of your face and strokes your cheek a bit, and he's looking at you, and his eyes are that bright blue that has been so comforting to you in this time. And you can hear the kind of the whirl of his wheels under him as he kind of screeches to a halt next to you, and he goes, I like you, Zuri. Do you like me?
I wait, you didn't have wheels?
Of course, I've always had wheels, Zuri. You're the one that didn't have wheels.
What? No, I've had.
You look down and you don't have wheels.
Oh man, the torture is
What the-
gaslighting her.
What the heck? No, this isn't right.
It's your old frame, the frame you had before the wheeled frame. You're in that now.
What? No. Oh, this can't be right. I got wheels on my next frame. Took me weeks to convince my mother. I remember, or was it my father? Damn it. Oh.
Zuri, you've got to get this together. It's just you and me in here. It's just you and me. I'm all you need, right, Zuri? I do anything for you, Zuri. I do anything for you.
Oh, that's nice. But where are we? You still haven't told me.
We're in here. We've got to get out. When we get out, Zuri, we're gonna do wonderful things. We're gonna get out of here together. And they're not gonna stop us. They're never gonna stop us, Zuri. And he kind of starts stroking your cheek. His bright green eyes are kind of brighter all of a sudden, and he draws you close, and that pain in the back of your head just so sharp.
I like how the interrogation AI is really bad at keeping its story straight.
It's a piece of crap. It is a literal piece of crap. It's amazing that it works at all. They have gotten this thing together.
The guys on the outside are just like, one job, man, one job.
They don't even have interns that make this.
No, I'm gonna try to pull away.
You're gonna try to pull away? Okay, give me
This
give me a resolve save. Actually, let's do a resolve save. This will be fun.
Oh,
I will say this will be difficulty 1.
Fun.
So it won't be very hard, but it will be hard.
Weaker of the 2 mind scores. Ha! My mind scores are equal.
My weakness is equal. Oh, you're a brawler, aren't you?
So it's basically going to be 2d8 plus 1.
Okay.
Because your mind score is probably 1, right?
No.
No,
I
you have
actually
two.
both-
There are 2 in them.
Well,
Okay, so
1d8
you.
plus 1d10 then.
Yeah.
1d8 plus 1d10 plus 2.
Yes.
Plus 1, not plus 2.
Plus
Oh.
1, yeah.
Okay.
It's based on your landmark score, which were landmark 1.
Oh yeah, landmark. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep getting that wrong.
Well, I mean, this is
It
new.
just happened.
Yeah, this just happened
It just happened.
to keep the systems consistent.
Alright, let's see what happens.
Ah.
Alright, you
I'm
try
gonna
to
use
pull-
a focus to reroll that d10.
Alright, come on. Show me the money.
Roll a 2. Roll a 2.
Will you shut up?
Ali reaches in from beyond the scene and slaps a fellow player.
Yay!
It's your fault, Ellie.
Don't cross me.
You start acting like you want to pull away, and then suddenly you feel like you're just swept off your feet. The most romantic pose happens. He pulls you in.
The glitterer takes place.
He literally takes your breath away. With his, he suddenly just turns it around and then makes it this moment. And for the longest, gentlest moment, he holds you there, and then he whispers softly to you, "No, I'm not gonna do this."
They look down at the AI. Oh, damn it, you got the fanfiction one. This wasn't the interrogator at all.
Take my breath away.
Away.
It's shipping.
I wanna throw in. Speaking of that, I showed Nick the art of Amelia and Zuri, and he was just like, "This is awesome." I immediately shipped them.
Just like how that came from like absolutely nothing other than Sam commissioning both at the same time. So I guess we're gonna get this tender moment.
I know. That's really I ruined everything, guys. Okay. So
Oh, you enhanced.
I enhanced
Like,
it.
did you-
Nice.
I thought you had commissioned it from Jinx, not Archive of Our Own. I got a chuckle. I'm quiet now.
Nice. Alright, well I think this will work. Alright, we might need to adjust the volume on rhythm. So you might want to turn the rhythm down, but I'm playing some music, so we'll get something different.
That is a bit loud.
That was-
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
crank
just,
it down. I have it down to like 7% is about
yeah.
where I put it. Or you can just mute it if you want.
Rhythm is an actual person in the chat. It's a bot,
Yeah.
so you can mute it or
Yeah,
diminish it.
You can adjust its volume. I've got a little playlist going, so I don't have to keep constantly doing something. Alright, so he pulls you close, and his eyes have kind of dimmed to kind of a soft gold, and the throbbing in the back of your head seems like it's starting to wane. And he just pulls you tight for a long. It feels like you can't sense time right now. Everything's kind of timeless. Miko, you start kind of coming to again, and you can see 2 panicked operators fighting with a computer. Do this.
There we go. My internet flickered.
Hey, you're back.
Oh, welcome back.
There. Okay.
Alright, so I
So-
literally just swapped to Miko and
Yes,
went away.
I know,
That was
the
how it
internet
worked. That's
flickered.
my timing.
Isn't that always the
My
way?
timing. That is the way. Alright, so Miko, your eyes start fluttering open, and you see the two operators from earlier ahead of you. They're in front of the cog again, but they're struggling with a console. And one of them looks like he's about ready to take a sledgehammer to it. And he goes, "The fucker's in the rest of the computer! Turn everything off! Get everything off!"
Told you can't break you break the cog.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Shut that thing up! You gotta do this over here right now. Miko, the bindings that were holding you suddenly released electronically.
I'm gonna wipe the sweat from my
And
brow and then immediately stick the hand back into where the binding should be because whoops,
the
I'm not loose.
the machine that has been displaying your vitals and it has like a little heartbeat going across it. You can watch it on the side. Instead of doing your heartbeat, it keeps writing in like a beautiful cursive, Alejandro.
Miko, who does not know the various inflections, looks at it and goes, Alejandro?
And you can kind of see the word coming up all over on various different screens and things. And some of the some of the people that are hanging unconscious on the chains suddenly get released and dropped. And there's sickening crunches for some of them because they're just being dropped off their various things. But you can see various mechanical riggings and surgery tools have just started up on their own in a very horrific way. And in fact, the person you saw with the ribs split open, there is a saw that has basically got like a laser on the end of it, a little laser guiding thing on it, and it's got a massive like little electronic arm that moves it along, and it suddenly starts.
Oh.
You see it kind of rising up out of the body triumphantly.
Alejandro is not a merciful god.
And it seems like something's about to go down.
Well,
so you're faking that you're still tied up?
are they looking at me or are they looking at
No,
the?
they're basically trying to pay attention to this computer thing, and they don't seem to notice all the various electronic things that have turned on are slowly turning in that direction.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll off the table if I can do that.
All right, you can roll off the table. What are you doing with yourself? You hit the ground. There is still a IV that is hanging off of you. You've lost some blood.
Let's go ahead and pull that there thing out of there. That doesn't seem
I
good.
know that's there's some blood. Oh that didn't come out quite as clean as you wanted. It looks like they have shaved you in various places.
I was already fairly short for it.
I know, but they shaved you.
Well, I never.
Hey, that prevents infection. Being thankful.
Very,
Also,
very
there's
good.
some
Miko's
marker-
skin.
There's some marker marks.
She's actually kind of a combination, sort of like the scale end for a thing. So I don't know how much further down they get, but.
Yeah. I'm just saying that they were trying to figure out how to make it easy to harvest tissue from you.
Well, I hope they learn something.
They may have there is a couple spots where you're missing a few scales.
No, this is all kinds of not okay. All right, what do I have for exit options?
There seems to be 2 doors in this room that you are currently in. One is on the other side of the 2 operators that aren't paying attention, and one is somewhere behind you, and there seem to be lights going on the other side of it.
They don't see me, yes?
They don't see you at all right now.
I am going to roll for stealthiness.
Alright.
Which I think I might have a thing for. I don't, but I'm not terrible at it. I'm just not good at it.
High.
Alright.
Roll
Yeah.
high.
Roll good.
What
roll
difficulty do you
good.
want here if they're not watching me?
They're not looking at you. I'm going to say difficulty 0 in this particular
Oh,
situation.
yeah. Alright.
Because this is actually not like a critically bad one for you.
10. And I don't think I've got anything fancy for that. Neuroscan. Nope. Not great. I'll throw one at the 3. Why not?
Okay.
There we go. Much better.
That's nicer.
Alright,
Yeah.
good. Alright, so yeah, you can easily sneak. You duck behind one of the various operating tables. To kind of give you an idea, I have neglected to link these, but there is this is vaguely the layout of what these things look like.
Mm-hmm.
I went looking on the internet for various tables to kind of show you what this room is looking like, and you can kind of get an idea what the hangout areas are. It's kind of dark in here. There's monitors everywhere. You managed to duck down behind one of the tables, or there's kind of cold storage containers ready to go for collecting organs just piled up. And as you slip around behind them, get it going into a more stealthy position, getting safer, you suddenly hear the and
She actually was.
screaming
Okay.
starts as the buzzsaw just launches itself off the table, breaking free of the arm that was holding it, and goes into the back of the head of one of the two operators. He doesn't even get a scream out as it lodges in, and he crumbles. And the other guy turns around in a panic and starts seeing all the big mechanical arms moving, and they're all trying to find a way to get to him.
Well, I mean, it seems like the robot's taking care of it, so I suppose I won't. Um, I'm gonna. Do I want to leave? I think she would probably go to leave. There's a bunch of like random corpses and stuff here, right?
There's a lot of random corpses here.
And
that
people
supposedly
hanging
kind
from
of
the ceiling?
explained. Yeah, and there's people hanging from the ceiling. There is a sudden and the bodies that were hanging on the hooks start rotating around and moving around the outside of the room.
Yeah, this is all kinds of a good place to not be.
And the one cog that they were working on suddenly comes around the outside, and there is a sickening sound as all the bodies are released and crumple to the ground. There you can see there's the equivalent of cog blood as this metal spike comes free from the back of her head as she slams into the ground. Zuri, you instantly wake up.
I'm guessing there's pain.
There is pain, and suddenly you're on the ground. You seem to be alone in a room with a guy who is being menaced by a lot of robotic arms and tools on the far side.
Okay. After a moment of probably significant confusion, I'm gonna try to get up.
All right. Miko, as you're making your way towards the door, you can see the cog is starting to get herself up.
I'm gonna go for the door.
All right, so you go rushing for the door. Miko, you can, or sorry, not Miko.
Zuri.
Miss Zuri, you may give me a perception check really quick at difficulty. I think we said difficulty 0 for.
Well, that was for the hiding. For perceiving, it's whatever you think it would be in the current situation.
Yeah, I'll say difficulty 1 on this. There's a lot going on, but she is right by the door, so she might see you on the way.
Okay.
At the very least, she's gonna see the doors fly open when you go past.
Body perceive, yes?
Yes.
1. So. Yeah, pass the check.
Yeah, I don't think you see.
That's one off.
It's one off. You don't see Miko. So, but you see everything else going on across the room, and you see as the guy has turned around. He seems like he's panicking, trying to pull something out, and another drill comes flying in from across the room and gets the guy in the side of his head from a different angle, and. Oh, it's gory, and there is like a brief moment where the lights in the room turn red. The door behind you suddenly opens, which I'm assuming Miko is sliding out as it opening up and sliding out, and there is a sudden siren noise of alarm, and Zuri, in front of your eyes, in your vision, not in front of you, but in your vision, the word "run" comes up in flashing white text.
Okay. Questions, but good suggestion. I shall do that.
It's then followed by super hot.
Alright. Alright, so which way do you tear off running?
There was a door that opened, yes?
Yeah, right behind you.
Yeah, that.
Alright, behind you, Miko, as
this-
you're running down this corridor, you know, trying to get to the next... Are you trying to hide while you're running down the corridor, or are you just running
I'm
down?
just leaving the building.
Alright, so you're running down the corridor, the alarms are going off, it's like an emergency fire alarms going off, and you can start
man,
hearing
again?
a churning of a system going. And in various rooms, you're hearing the clicks of doors being locked in front of you to either side, and you see people pressing up against it as white foam starts to fill their rooms as a fire retardant system is going off. and you guys soon are to what appears to be a main kind of a lobby area. There are people panicking and running outside as the two of you suddenly make it out into a street area, and there's several guys racking up guns and running back inside. Because they assume they are under attack. Give me a community exert. Let's see, what would be a good one for I'm assuming you guys are trying to blend in, like, oh no, we're just running out with everybody else, right?
Oh hell no! I'm going across the ceiling. Fuck it, they can shoot at me.
Okay. Alright. Well, I'm saying, when you get outside, do you want, like, people to notice that?
Yeah, I'm gonna stand up in a trench coat and be like, "Yes, I am a government man. I am here to work with the scientists. Behold, surely
I'm
you've."
assuming Miko isn't prioritizing blending in or anything. She's literally just running.
Yes.
Okay.
I have speed and the ability to walk on walls. Catch me if you can.
Alright, actually the two of you are pretty fast, so you might just blaze out of there. So you blaze out of there. There are people who take shots at you both as you go past. And then...
And at this point, I have no knowledge or attachment of Zuri whatsoever. So as far as I know, I'm being chased by a horrible rollerblade lady. So I gotta move faster and attempt to drop that tail as well.
Well, I mean, you do know that she was also a victim in there with you. That is something you do.
That means nothing. I don't even know why I was in there.
Yeah, so you don't know anything. But you know that she's probably not part of it. But that as you both kind of go careening off in whatever direction together, it is a dark and cold world ahead. Will you guys meet up, or will you guys kind of ignore each other?
I'm gonna go a little bit, and if she's following me, I'm gonna look back and be like, "So are you like trying to catch me, or I'm just trying to figure out our relative positions here?"
No, I'm just running. You seem to know where you're going.
That's exactly the sort of thing somebody trying to catch me would say.
That seems familiar.
She'll skid to a stop and look back and say, "What was that place?"
Zuri manages to stop just in time before she crashes into Miko. And I have no idea.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that's together then. She's gonna look around and see if she recognizes the area at all that she's in.
Give me a logic check. We'll say difficulty 1. I'll give you difficulty 1 on this.
What am I at? I think I just have a 1.
I'll give you a 1 on this.
Yeah, 1. 8 plus nada. Nope, don't know.
No, you don't know. You don't. You were taken here, so you aren't really sure where you are now.
Oh man, I had no idea. I had stuff. Didn't I have stuff? I had stuff. Did you have stuff?
Yeah, of course I had stuff. Where's my stuff?
Oh, it's probably back in there.
I don't really want to go back in there. That place was weird and bad.
We're next to a bunch of buildings, right?
Yeah, there's lots of buildings everywhere.
I'm gonna go up the side of one of them and take a peek back over there and see if I can see what condition that particular building is in.
It looks like it's on fire.
Oh, my stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think we got a real good chance of getting it right now. I guess we can go back after the burning's done and hope.
What, burning? Wait, let me see. And
You can just slide up that wall.
No, hey, that's neat. Also, I feel
sure
less
it's-
significant.
I can only do it with a good deal of speed, so.
So you ramp off the wall, trying to take a peek as you go.
Yeah.
No, I
Ah!
can actually drive up the wall, just can't do it slowly.
She's gotta go fast.
Yeah, but sure, there's a stopping point though, right?
Yeah, are you stopping to look, or are you just gonna keep driving back and forth at the top?
I assumed there was a top to the building. That
Oh,
it's
you're going
not.
to... See, Miko's literally perching on the side.
Oh,
That
oh,
was why
okay.
I was like, so it's like, okay, so you're running all the way to the top and then doing it. Miko's hanging off the side. So
Well,
there's,
now I'm gonna go to the top because I can't have her being taller than me.
I
I
hate
do-
to break it to you, but
Shut up.
I do want to point out, since we are underground, you may not want to assume there are tops to the building.
It's a pretty big
That could
vaulted area, I
actually-
think.
Damn it, fair point.
yeah. So you slide up to the top, and Miko comes scrambling up after you because it won't be outdone by you. And you can definitely see that the building is on fire. And again, white text in front of your vision. Find safety.
I think we should find safety.
Well, this seems pretty safe, right? She says, taking out a look at the building top.
Maybe get further away from it.
She's going to flicker an annoyed-looking light and hold up both paws. But my stuff. Did you miss the stuff?
Hey, it's my stuff too.
Well,
But
but my stuff.
I don't know what happened to you, but I think they did weird stuff to my mind, and I don't really want to go back there.
All right. Bye. She's gonna thump down in a huff and wait for the building to stop burning. All the other people are gonna come and loot it anyway. Never been a looter before. Might be fun.
So are you gonna wait it out?
Maybe I'll find stuff. Yeah, she's gonna wait for the building to stop burning.
All right. Well, this will take a couple hours.
I'll stealth on the rooftop.
All right. So Miko's gonna stealth up on a rooftop by themselves. Zuri, where are you gonna go? And Pierce, why don't you go ahead and give me 3 stealth rolls for the next several hours?
None of them are good.
Wow.
Good
By
luck
the
with that.
time I get to the last one there, I'm making little light shows and stuff, and
You really got distracted. You're
Yeah.
making little light shows, occasionally getting stopped burning.
Alright, because after the first hour, since there's like a major thermal thing going on down there, the IRPF is going to be coming down to investigate.
well, if it starts looking like I can no longer hide, then I suppose I leave.
Okay, because during that first hour, you didn't do very good, and you might feel like you're in danger. Just saying, it don't look good. Especially when you're on top of the building when the hover vehicles start coming by.
I'll go back down to the bottom and wander away,
Alright, but
bemoaning
Zuri,
the lack of my stuff.
You took off immediately.
Yeah, in the direction of away from the burning building.
Okay, so you go blindly off in the direction away from
I don't know my way around here, so
I know, I'm just saying you
Deeper into spiral territory.
deeper into spiral territory, maybe. We don't know. But you start wandering off into the world on your own. Meanwhile, you've lost track of the little quadruped that escaped with you that apparently has no attachments to you in any way. So, Aaron, Amelia, the two of you make your way back to the Reclaimer's base. Aaron, you've never been here before, but mostly because you've never really gotten to be around a lot of the kids your age. There are a lot of different vectors of various shapes and sizes. A lot of them have a lot of physical difficulties because they were born down here without any medical attention that could have helped them with the issues they had genetically. And some of them have actually experienced disease, which is something a lot of people in Vector Society don't. But you've never got to be around these kids because you were kind of ostracized and some of there's a lot of whispering amongst them as they see you, because everybody knows who you are. You're famous in a way,
Erin is very nervous.
like the child that lived or something. You're a wizard, Harry.
Oh no.
I know. A little seal tour comes scooting along immediately upon seeing Amelia back. Amelia!
Amelia is just like stone-faced glower.
Amelia!
Just look down, just like, what?
I learned how to give a purple nurple. I'm gonna give you one. And hear an older person from across the room yell, "No!" And he like grabs onto your leg. And he's like, "Come on, let's go play."
Like, now it's not a good time, kid.
But why
I'm
not?
working. I'm working,
Everyone's always working.
and I'm real pissed off.
You're always pissed. You're a
Yeah.
moody teenager. When I'm your age, I won't be that pissed.
That
I
only
just, like,
pisses her
ruffle
off
his
more.
hair, just like ruffle his hair, kind of like pulling him my leg free. Just like, man, I hope so.
Where's
Just
my
keep
dad?
walking.
Did you see my dad?
Like, as I'm walking away, like pulling Aaron, just look over my shoulder. It's like, IRPF got him. He put up a good fight.
Wait,
Just keep going.
You just see this kid's face just suddenly drop. Everybody in the room goes quiet as you just kind of say it flatly.
Erin looks horrified. And then
And
looks.
the music picks up really dramatically, and then stops.
Wait a second. Let go of my arm. I'm not gonna bolt.
Just
There,
like,
there is the sudden like sounds of a child having trouble breathing, of panic, and is starting to whine, and you see a couple of the older gang members move in and grab him up.
I'm just like, we ain't got time for anything, kid. We gotta get you to the boss.
Screw your boss. And Erin's going to.
Like that. I'm like, just like, that's the spirit, and I'm just like pulling you along.
Erin will actually physically fight back now to tug away.
Oh no, there's like slap fight going.
I'll let her go.
Alright.
And Erin is going to rush over to the little steel tour, pulling out the chocolate bar. Look, here, look. Your dad had he got this for you.
He's just kind of blubbering into the person holding him's arms.
Oh.
He doesn't know you, and he doesn't know what's going on. You can tell he's like, is Mama gonna go away too?
Amelia's like, just like walks over and just like leans down, just like, he ain't dead. He might come back.
Yeah, there's a moment where one of the other adults kind of nods to you that at least you're trying to make it a little bit better, and one of them puts a reassuring hand on Aaron and gives it a squeeze, and they gently take the chocolate bar and try to hand it to the kid repeatedly, kind of going,
Yeah.
Your dad wants you to have this till he
Yeah,
gets back.
shut up and eat, child.
I'm just like,
well, they know how special a chocolate bar is, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
it's kind of like it's a big deal for them that they got one, right?
Erin looks vaguely mournful that the chocolate bar is now gone, but
just like picking her up around her waist and walking off.
He just kind of throwing her on his shoulder.
there's
Alright.
kicking and indignant protesting.
There's a couple chuckles from some of the other kids that aren't quite as involved in the emotional roller coaster of the SEAL tour, who just lost a parent. And you're brought into a makeshift office with a crudely drawn chalk map on the wall, and a very kind of grotesque looking blip. He's got I think I've described it before. He's got the elongated muzzle on one side, and the eyes aren't quite, even. The ears a bit longer, and one leg's a little longer than the other. He's
Quasimodo Team Wolf.
very, very kind of Teen Wolf Quasimodo. It's a rough lifestyle down here, and he kind of looks kind of grinchy, and then he looks over at Amelia, and he kind of he's got a little hard look in his eyes, and he looks at Aaron, and he looks like he visibly softens a bit. And,
Amelia.
hey, you got her good. Hey, kid, you
Yeah.
all right? We heard you struck out alone.
Yeah, I was gonna find my way to the surface, and then apparently I'm being kidnapped.
He looks over at Amelia. Did you kidnap her?
Amelia is like, just like drops the bag down. She's got a like really grimacy scowl, and there are tears on her cheeks. Just like, I got her. Okay, I got her.
What's all this? What happened?
Like, they got Tony.
His face falls, and he's a little wobbly because of his stature, and you see him kind of struggle to sit down. Fuck. I'll have to tell his wife and kid.
Well, I got 50% good news for you.
Shit. You okay? Or did you get seen? Did you get hurt?
I'm like, no, I'm fine.
I'm sorry that you didn't see that.
It was like,
He looks over at Aaron. He goes, "I'm sorry if you saw that too."
I didn't really see much. I heard stuff, but Aaron stands there awkwardly, rubbing their arm, like, don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. He pulls open a little box behind the thing, and he shuffles around, and he pulls out a very small tin. It looks like it had decorative markings on it at one point that were painted on that have kind of gone away with years. And he kind of struggles the top of it open, and inside are these little, like, wrapped in like white, waxy paper, brightly colored pieces of something, and he holds it out kind of shakily, and you can see there's mostly wrappers in there, but there's like 2 or 3 in there, and he's like, "Hey, both of you have one of these. It's been a rough day."
No, thank you.
He's like, "It's all right. I'll have something for them. Come on. Promise
Aaron
it's
just-
not drugs."
Yeah, that's actually Aaron's main concern right now.
That's actually why she's refusing.
Yeah, no, it really actually is.
No, because she wanted drugs.
Oh.
No, I promise it's not drugs here. He offers one to Amelia.
Take the drugs immediately.
Prove to the kid it's not drugs.
I'll take what he's offering to her, like snap half of it off and throw it in my mouth.
Alright, and it's hard candy. It is like a deep pleasure that, like, he usually uses those as like an attaboy kind of thing. He has very, very little bit of candy, but whenever they get candy, they try to save it as a reward system.
The
kind of
local
thing.
grandma, he has a Werther's bag that he keeps, properly hidden.
He does. He literally does. I mean, it's honestly something that they really enjoy. It's a huge resource there for them. I mean, that most of the stuff they get is tasteless paste, So this is a sudden, like, rush sweet, and it's got lemon and like a little bit of strawberry to it, and it actually kind of catches you a little bit because it's just different for having flavor in your mouth. It doesn't taste like grime and crap. And he looks over at Aaron and goes, "Go on, it's all right."
Aaron will very gingerly take one and smile, thankfully, if a bit, worriedly, and then just squirrel it away on his person.
Okay, just go
Why?
put it away.
Yeah. Why am I here?
Your moms. They're worried about you.
They're not my mom.
They didn't give birth to you, but fair, nobody really did. But they care about you. And you don't want to be with them, that's fine. But they don't want you getting hurt either. You want to go up top?
Yeah.
We can help you get up top. You gotta help us by working things out here, but we get people topside. That's something we can arrange. Very least, we gotta keep you out of spiral territory. Pretty little thing like you, they'll cut you up like your meat. You ain't raised like the other kids here. You don't know how scary it is. I don't know what your parents told you. Or people raised you. Whatever you want to call them. But it's harsh. People disappear all the time on these streets. If you want to stay here with us, keep you safe, we don't even you need to see your parents. You don't have to. We help you get you topside. I owed them one, so I'm making sure you don't die right away. You want to stay here? You can. But if you want to leave, there's nobody holding you here. You go when you want.
No, nobody had stopped me.
Yes, and that means Amelia, don't you be grabbing this kid and tackling him down the hallway.
I was gonna say like Amelia's still holding on to the arm right there. There's nobody holding you with two hands.
Oh, all right, but so what? I do stuff for you, and you can get me topside.
Yeah, we gotta get resources together. We take care of everybody here in the community. I know you didn't get raised in the community, but we take risks. Sometimes that means we gotta break into places, do some stuff, but we get things back together for people. And we're looking to send a couple people topside. Maybe help make life a little better for the rest of us down here. I could try to arrange you being in that group. What you do when you get up there is your business. As long as you remember the little people down here tried.
So
He looks
it's
over at
to
Amelia
help
and he
people.
goes, "You're gonna be going up top soon again too. I need somebody with fresh eyes that knows what's going on." So you
Like
two
one
might
of the-
want to get together with Bono and figure out your next hit single. No. No.
For those of you who are fresh to the HSD's experience, anytime U2 is mentioned, a Bono joke is obligatory and mandatory.
Right on. Sounds like you guys are on the edge of your comedic.
Oh!
Oh!
Yeah, Joe.
Well played.
Well played. Alright. The brows furrow a bit on his head, and he goes, "We're gonna need a couple more. It'd be nice if we could get some folks that look like they belong up top a bit more." He frowns and goes, "A lot of our clientele aren't doing so good. We need medicine. We need things to make everybody alright. And we need people that aren't worshiping some old path about forever tools, that are interested in bringing new technology down for the rest of us. If we could get a couple printers working, we could make a world of difference. What do you two say?"
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Thank you, sweet. Aaron glances around hesitantly before going, "Oh, maybe like a trial basis."
I just feel like
He puts his hand out to you. It's a kind of hairy and a little grubby, but it's a pretty meaty hand. He goes, "My name's Stoddle Denry, and you're Miss Aaron, right?"
Yeah, Aaron. Just Aaron, please.
Alright, Amelia, see if you can find Aaron here a good place to cozy down. And,
Like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. Like,
And,
hey, Aaron, kid,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna stop you, but don't leave.
Aaron like leans away.
Startle is just this pet at his desk.
Or I'll have to stop you.
Like, you,
Startle is just looking at Aaron going, we're not holding Aaron here.
like, yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying, don't leave. You ran halfway to spiral territory. You
Okay.
At the very least, let us take some safe routes.
Like, you're gonna want to hang around here till you know something. You could have got us both killed. Gone to your grave happily, unaware of what it was or what killed you.
You're really morbid.
Yeah, I'm sorry about it. That's just her way. But she's right. We don't want you playing in the wrong side of the street. All right. Well, they'll have some bags and some supplies they can give you. Maybe give you a bedroll or something. You can go make a little place for yourself. Amelia, come back in here a couple hours once you get a break. I'm gonna go get a hold of a certain wife.
Can I ask you a question?
You can try.
What the fuck are you thinking of signing me to topside? Like, what part of you thinks I'm not gonna fuck this up?
He smiles and laughs a bit. And he goes, I'm expecting that I need to find some people that can keep you from swinging at every face you see. And then you're going to keep them from getting hauled off to a dark corner. That's how I think it's going to go. I need a rough touch as much as I need a soft touch.
Okay.
And also, I can trust that you're not going to go starry-eyed when you get topside and forget about everybody down here. Remember last year, we set those 6 up. They never talked to us again.
Miko counts off the corpses in the closet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, took care of that.
Oh, there's all these dead kids.
Like, all right. No, I'm gonna go take care of this one.
Now, when you say take care,
I would like a new carer, please.
I mean, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna find her a place to. I don't know.
yeah, find her a place to bed down. Don't worry, Amelia's not in charge of you. All right.
Doesn't Amelia know that?
Amelia, you're not in charge here.
I'm barely in charge of myself. It's like
Yes,
walking
this is
out.
true. Alright, you guys should go wandering off. Zuri,
Yes.
you've wandering alone for the last several hours, occasionally getting prompts west, east, south, north. It's sometimes really annoying because it's like it's the worst GPS ever. Because it's not like saying in this many streets turn left. No, it's just west. Now east.
Worst minimap ever.
Because you kind of might be going a little fast, but you can kind of see people on the streets, and soon you kind of come to an area with a lot of burning barrels and groups of children huddled together. And they kind of are staring at you very curiously as you kind of come wheeling on up. And the lights flash one last time in your eyes, and they say allies.
Okay, that sounds good. Is it just kids, or are there any?
There's kids of various
grown-ups?
ages. I mean, they look like there's some 15-year-olds, and they're not like little kids. They're like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds,
Okay.
17-year-olds. They're young, but they're not children.
Okay. I will approach one of the groups then. Say, hello.
Wow, does your hair change color?
Yeah, it does that occasionally.
Wow. If I cut some of it off, would it still change color?
No, I don't think so.
My dog's upset at this concept, by the way. The kid,
Zuri kind of goes like
the young
this at the
teenage girl
suggestion.
is kind of there's some sort of a falcon bird vector, and they come over and they just start kind of stroking her. Come on, it's okay. I know. Come here. Shh. I know. We start talking about cutting the cog's hair, and you got mad. You get mad. Okay, but they kind of like start stroking your hair. It's kind of unwanted sudden touching from this kid that they just seem mystified that you've had this hair that's kind of pink and goes blonde and then kind of flickers a little bit when you get worried. It starts going a little blue and green and darker, and they just a lot of them just seems like, wow, that is something they never see in their lifetime. You know, that you're magic. Yeah. And you have all these bright lights and stuff to you, and you look vaguely cleaner than everyone they've ever seen in their life. So
that, by the way, that took another couple of weeks to convince my parents of letting me have the hair and lights that change color with the mood.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, this is a great plan, right? Yeah, but yeah, but she seems just mystified. Oh, my name's Lena. What's your name?
My name is Zuri.
Wow.
Are
you from above?
Yeah, but that was a while ago.
Wow. Like, how long ago?
A couple of weeks. I'm not actually sure how long.
Is it really true that you can get hot food up there whenever you want?
Well, not whenever you want. You gotta pay for it.
What do you pay?
Oh, crap. I gotta explain economics.
Good luck. We're still trying to do that.
This is all that's going through my head right now.
It's a bit complicated. It would take a long time to explain that.
Does everybody up there look like you?
No, people all look different.
Really?
Well, I mean, some look similar, but...
Wow. When I grow up, I want to look like you.
Okay, let's get rid of Falcon Owen Wilson. Jesus. Wow.
Well, thank you. So can you tell me is there anybody who's like in charge around here?
Yeah, Stottle's in charge. Do you want to join our gang?
Yeah, maybe actually.
Oh, that would be so cool. You could join our chapter, and we're the lookouts, and but we don't go that far out because it's scary. But we're the lookouts. And we're training. I'm in charge. And the other kids are suddenly like squinting their eyes because they don't actually believe this one's in charge.
Our motto is, "Hey, bad guys coming."
What we do is when the spirals come, we're supposed to run and hide and then tell somebody. Sometimes not in that order.
Okay.
But I can take you to Denry.
Okay, yeah, I would like that.
Okay, guys, just keep doing what we're doing.
Remember,
Thumbs
scurry,
up.
sniff, flinch.
Just thumbs up. We got this, guys. And you can tell that all of the other kids have this like look of disbelief of, are they really trying to play off that they're important right now? But none of them are calling her on it. There's that little bit of shame in their eyes. Just that little bit of shame. As she starts walking along, and she starts talking your ear off. She wants to know what the sky is like. Is it really true that there's like this artificial light that moves across the sky by itself every day, and that everyone can see it?
Well, yeah, but it's not artificial.
Oh no! Now you've lost her.
Oh crap. No, okay, not gonna try to explain astrophysics as well.
It's basically, this is somebody who has lived in a fairly artificial environment. They've never seen the sun. They've never seen clouds. The only weather they've experienced is when the reactors are dumping coolant, and that's it. And it's just like this magical thing that there's this whole upper world with light and things that can be printed and made, and that doctors can fix all sorts of stuff. Because she's like, is it really true they can replace arms and legs, all sorts of stuff?
Yeah.
And they can bring back the dead?
In a way, yes.
You think they could bring back my mom?
Probably not.
In a way, yes.
In a way, but she might be a little different. But yeah, there's some awkward conversations of, my cousin Jimmy died, and that he had had like, his torso ripped off when a machine went wild down here, and you're sitting there like trying to figure out how someone's torso gets ripped off because you just think the rest of it just got played away. And it's just awkward conversations with this kid. She's strangely upbeat though, for as hard as her life has been. And she kind of,
Wow.
walks you to this building that's being kind of guarded by some older, kind of more stern-looking adult characters. And they kind of give this weird look to this. I mean, you're pretty much like a glowing, incandescent white angel compared to everyone else down here. I mean, you're so much cleaner. You're so much, better smelling. You're so just, you're bright with your lights and everything. And they start bringing
crap, that's
you
gonna
in.
raise all sorts of expectations.
I know
You
you're
picked
a
Destin,
glowing...
didn't you? It's OP all over again.
Oh no.
So, but
No, I
but
didn't,
they
that's
bring
the
you
problem.
in, and you didn't? Oh, that's too bad.
I mean,
You changed it.
I totally did.
I didn't need
yeah,
to see
right.
your character sheet before the game. I'd like to point out, so I don't know. So if you took it, you'll need to tell me at some point. But you come in, and you're brought into like kind of a large room, and they have a lot of like makeshift beds and things like that. There's a small blippish looking Hemi making up their bed, so wearing kind of a baggy burgundy shirt with gold trim, blonde hair, big blue eyes. She's kind of just settling in. Aaron, you can see this just most beautiful person you've seen in your life, probably, because they're more clean than anybody you've ever seen, and they're made of light.
Rainbow Cat, hang on. Erin's getting out her locket. His locket.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm mixing this up now.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. When you made this character, you were gonna mess us all up.
Right. Holding it up and trying to compare.
Yeah, you break out your locket and you kind of see that kind of visage of, it's like your rainbow leopard. You think maybe there's a name there. You're trying to maybe that's mom. That's
Wait,
mom.
no.
That could be mom. Maybe dad.
I don't think Mum's or Dad's a robot. I don't. Hang on. Shaking the locket frantically.
You start thinking maybe you should just go out, but you suddenly see this kid take out a locket and holding it up, looking at you intently, like they're trying to decide something by looking at it. Zuri, it's very curious.
Is a confused look, and then rolling a little closer. Are you all right?
This is you.
Erin snaps the
Are
locket
you
shut.
my mother?
Yeah, I'm okay. How old are you?
I didn't catch that. What was that?
How old are you?
How old? I'm. How old is Zuri? Damn it, good question.
Alright, you are not allowed to ask us that. That is not you
Oh,
are allowed to make up whatever you want.
I was asking myself.
Oh my. Oh my. I hope you put yourself in the age bracket that you could be Aaron's mom, because that would be like the best thing in the world. Alright, Jeopardy music. Waiting on Zuri.
Now I'm tempted to make her older.
Do 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 do
Do,
do
do,
do 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 do.
No, I'm 21.
Aaron squints a bit, frowns. I guess this isn't you then, right? And he opens up the locket again and shows Zuri the horribly distorted, flickery image of the hollow locket.
It's a hollow locket, Zuri, and you can tell it's kind of gotten some green and rust, and it's been water damage, and the image is flickering and trying to be there, but because of whatever happened to this locket, the image is pixelated to the point where it almost looks like one of the figures has like Technicolor spots, but you can't tell if it's the pixelization looking that way or if it's actually what it is. And the other figure is just completely indistinct.
There's a brief moment of thought. It's probably the emitter. Some cleaning might actually help. But no, sorry, kid. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I didn't think so either. Aaron
The young,
disappointed.
the young Falcon Vector has suddenly wrapped her arms around Zuri again. This way, this way, this way. Oh, hi, Taboo Kid. Good to see you. Bye.
Oh,
That's
Aaron frowns and goes back to setting out their bed.
Zuri allows herself basically actually literally be pulled away, just unlock the brake on her wheels and let the kid
just
pull her.
letting them pull you. Yeah, they're pulling you.
What do you mean, Taboo Kid?
Well, it used to be Taboo Babu, but you got older.
Ha!
Well, they're taboo because the people that raised them kidnapped them from up top, and a bunch of people died and got taken away because the IRPF was trying to figure out who still kidnapped the baby, and they kept the baby, and so we weren't supposed to do anything with the kid because they didn't want the IRPF to hurt us.
Wow. Okay.
So you're not supposed to talk to them because it's bad.
Oh, well,
But it's okay.
I'm
'cause
sorry,
you're
I
from
didn't
up,
know.
You're from up top, so I guess you're allowed.
Oh, okay, that's good.
All right, and she kind of wheels you up and opens up the door and does this big flourishing bow as she opens it up and goes "Recruit!" and then slams the door behind you after she pushes you in.
The fuck?
And there's just a startled-looking like Hemi-Vector that was like behind his desk trying to fiddle something together. Looks like a piece of electronics with a screwdriver, and he looks like he was midway into something, and then you just suddenly got thrown in, and he like drops his screwdriver. There's a sudden spark and smoke, and what the fuck? Who are you?
I'm Zuri. I'm kind of new around here.
He kind of looks you up and down. He goes, "Jesus Christ, you're fresh off the boat."
Yeah, I guess I am.
Shit. Well, you're lucky you made it this far. Holy crap! Surprised nobody chopped you up for spare parts yet.
I think somebody tried, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I think you'd know. You'd know, or you'd be dead.
Well, I was in a place and they did something to my mind. I think it was very weird.
He frowns and he goes, Are you with the RPF?
No, I've been down here a couple of weeks.
Because we don't want any trouble if you're with the RPF. Ma'am, we will help you get back to your precinct. We have. We're just trying to make we aren't a gang. We are just trying to make ends meet. I apologize, ma'am. If we'll get you back to your precinct.
No. It's okay. Listen, the lights,
there's like an alarmed look on his face as he's starting to like trying to analyze the situation and what you are and who you are.
If you're a cop, you've got to say you're a cop. It's the law.
It's the law.
Okay, no, listen. The lights is not supposed like warning lights or anything. I'm not with the IRPF, not at all. No. Listen, I've been down here a couple of weeks and
Unfortunately, right now your hair is actually flashing red and blue.
It probably is, yeah. Okay,
Oh
listen.
God!
What?
Just your hair flashing red and blue right now. That's awesome.
Okay, listen, I don't have active control over this. Okay, I'm sorry. Seemed like a good idea at the time.
He looks a little concerned. You can tell you've got him kind of in a interesting position because he's kind of reeling back a bit defensively because he's scared for everybody in the other room right now because he doesn't know who you are. And he goes, "What do you want? We'll give you whatever you want."
Okay, listen.
I think I got a chocolate bar somewhere.
I'm
ammo.
Hey.
Yeah.
Do you see what I am? You might have heard. We don't eat.
I'm not saying you need it. It's valuable.
Oh.
I guess it's not valuable up top, but I mean I don't know. We have some raw materials, maybe. I don't know. What do you? I don't want. What do you want? I mean, don't hurt the kids.
No, I don't want to hurt anybody. I was led here.
Oh shit.
After going to sleep last night, I woke up in a place I don't know. I was tied up and they were doing something to me. I think there were other people around. I don't know. Things happened to me. I saw this. I don't know what it was. He called himself Alejandro. And I think he'd let me go or something. Listen. It was really confusing. So I just ran, and the building caught fire. There were all sorts of stuff happening. I don't know how to explain it better. I'm sorry, but ever since then Excuse me?
You were at the fire? You escaped the fire in the Spiral District?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh shit. They're gonna be after you. Fuck.
What? Why? What did I do to them?
Well, they figure out you were there. They're gonna think you started that fire. It's one of their chop shops. That's where they tear people down there. That's a lot of money for them.
Yeah,
shit.
that's kind of what it looked like. Yeah.
I mean, props to you if you burned it down. Jesus Christ.
I didn't do it.
We gotta get you out of here.
I would. I mean, yeah, I would appreciate that. I would like to get out of here.
All right. Well, look, we're putting together I'm gonna try and put something together. I need to know I can trust you, though. All right. Look, you can stay here if you want. We'll try and get you going. But we're. Oh God, you're gonna need to be. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna get you something to cover up a bit. I mean, I don't want to sound terrible, but your frame is really kind of iconic. I think they're gonna see you coming from a couple blocks away. Oh shit.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
We got a couple newbies. We can put you in with them. you don't mind helping out around here, you're welcome to stay. We give you protection on the way to get food, and
Okay.
we watch each other at night so nobody gets hauled off.
Mhm.
But we're gonna try and get a couple people topside. You're already from topside. If you don't mind helping our people acclimate when they get up there, that'd be great. But I don't know what else to do. But you're Zuri, you said, right?
Yes.
I'm kind of the guy in charge here. Stottle Denry's my name. He puts a big meaty hand out to your, and it's a lot filthier and you
Mhm.
know it's than yours, of course.
I'm gonna shake it anyway.
All right. Yeah, he gives you a good firm handshake. And he's come with me, and he's gonna lead you out into the other room again, and he's gonna. All the kids are kind of out there, and you kind of see Erin off to the side with her little bedroll by herself, and he goes, "Hey, everybody, listen up. This is Miss Zuri. She's gonna be staying with us for a while. She don't know the ropes down here. We're gonna be showing it to her. Amelia, Amelia." Jesus Christ, where'd Amelia go?
What?
Amelia!
What do you want now?
Hey,
I go over there.
you're teaching this one territory. I want you to dig through our old clothes, find something to cover up with. She's a little flashy. We need to
Like,
conceal that a
yeah,
bit. Miss Zuri here is a survivor of the fire of the chop shop. There's a where are the kids? You know what that means. They're gonna be coming for her. She's family now. I want each of you kids keeping an extra eye out. Nobody lets them know Miss Zuri's here. Got it? Bunch of the kids. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my god, I want to be just like her. Do you think I could be like that? Oh man. I bet you she killed like 3 of those guys.
Amelia sprains a
And
muscle, rolling
there's
her
at least
eyes.
one kid going, I bet you Amelia's gonna kick her ass. Yeah, Amelia's gonna kick her ass. There's like that little whispering that kids do. And he's gonna look over and go, Aaron,
Yeah.
this is Miss Zuri. She's not from down here. You seem like a smart, nice kid. And you and her learn our territory together, alright? Watch out for each other.
Okay.
Make sure Amelia doesn't bully her too hard, alright? Kind of winks at you.
That's a very bizarre wink.
It is a very bizarre wink. Because his eyeball's not quite right. Alright, he's gonna go. Alright, kids, get some rest. We got some business tomorrow. Miko! You're running alone.
I was gonna say that if I had to leave the building top, I would probably start trying to track the robot, but we kind of transitioned into another thing.
Well, you stayed there for like an hour after she ran off, so I was kind of not sure. Because you were setting up, so.
Miko probably saw which vague direction
Which direction? Okay, so
Zuri went. So
yeah, you can start tracking. I mean, the other thing is I mean that was some bright lights going for quite a ways. So you saw the direction she was heading. So you can kind of start heading that way. Give me some let's say perception rolls, and I'll say difficulty 0 because you were doing topside. You had more advantage. And also, you see in the dark for like ever.
I don't actually.
Oh, I thought you did.
I did in previous build.
Oh,
No.
well, it was still lights.
What did I just press? Ah, okay, that's what I just pressed. Nope.
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 All right. Well, you saw the lights kind of take off, and you start trying to follow after them, and after a while, you just don't know where they are. and you're just kind of nosing around, looking for. Are you looking for like a safe place to hide, or what are you doing?
Well, probably. I mean, if the noises have stopped and I can't figure out where they are and whatnot, just be like, well, that was a grand end to my first adventure. Pat self on back. Apparently, since I am now devoid of the first items I purchased upon starting my new life, I will have to acquire new items. This will be new stuff. First new stuff underground in new life. Yes.
You start narrating to yourself.
Essentially. So I don't know that I mean, it might matter if anybody's listening around to it, but she has the ability to speak in radio wavelengths, and everything she does is accompanied by a chorus of additional voices. So like there's various sound effects and various agreement as she kind of it's like the voice in your head that you're just kind of like agreeing with your own thoughts, but they're all audible via radio at short range. So she's a freaking like chorus of different noises if you've got a receiver within about 30 feet.
Nice. So
and she can hear them all, so she's basically got her own sound effects.
As you're kind of wandering around talking to yourself, basically dumpster diving through society right now, trying to find maybe something left in a building somewhere.
It's working out okay. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna look at this is tasty. Why should I worry?
You hear an echo. You hear an echo.
An echo of what?
Your inner thoughts.
Oh yes. Seems like a good person. I like them.
It's like, why should I worry?
Yeah, it's essentially it.
Why should I worry? As somebody's radio somewhere is picking you up and broadcasting it.
Oh, that's not good. But they probably have stuff to
They
take.
probably have stuff that.
I mean, no, I wouldn't take that stuff.
I mean, I wouldn't take that stuff.
No, I wouldn't. I'm gonna.
You suddenly hear a click.
Oh, okay. Nice knowing you.
And there's a kind of a rustling noise of like somebody trying to hide.
Seriously, they probably have stuff to take. I'm gonna see if I can find out where that was coming from.
All right, give me another perception roll. This is gonna be difficulty 0.
There we go. I've discerned their location.
Alright, they're on the second floor of the building you were hanging out on. There's an open window nearby. You can hear them kind of hiding in one of the interior rooms. There's tarps that have been kind of covering over some of the windows that are busted out. And there's disheveled, destroyed furniture inside.
She's going to slip up the side of the building and peek through the window carefully. She's like, I don't know what you may have heard on the radio, but I do not intend to take your stuff.
I don't want to die.
Oh, no, I mean that's like it's cool. I am willing to accept stuff donations.
Don't kill me.
She's gonna turn on her lights and see what she can see in there.
15-year-old like gecko lizard vector, and he's hiding in what's like the remnants of a bathroom, like got himself cowered down in the bottom of a bathtub that is like all it's destroyed, and he's got himself like in a fetal position over his backpack, and he's just sobbing. I want to die. I just want to rest for a little bit. Don't kill me, please.
She's gonna peek around the room a little bit and see if she can figure out if there's any particular like indication of what he's doing there.
There appears to be a set of binoculars. Looks like he was on lookout duty. He has a little radio there and a bag of snacks, a crappy hand pistol.
This guy's supply of stuff is beginning to look appealing.
I know. And he's holding his backpack tightly and like I said, cowering in the bottom of the bathtub.
She's going to crawl in there, and Miko, while slim, is actually a rather imposing creature. It's a fairly large animal with long legs and a predatory gait to her. So she's gonna like walk up, not really attempting to be particularly threatening, but likely. I mean, there's a lot of teeth. It's a large mouth.
He wets himself.
Oh, well, I mean, so what's in the bag? I mean, while we're talking.
Don't kill me.
This is all kinds of awkward.
It's about then you notice the radio's on again.
Oh, well, all right.
And he's holding the button.
Hello?
Billy, are you okay? Billy,
Billy,
why are you crying?
Billy has stuff. Is there additional stuff on the other end of the radio?
Guys, somebody's fucking with Billy. We gotta get over there.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna do that to Billy. I'm looking for the stuff. Listen, I just lost a lot of stuff. There was a big fire, and
What
I'm
the fuck is this? What have you done to Billy?
feeling. You're rude. She's gonna send a large blast of squelch to the other side of the radio, like when you've got dual speakers across from them.
That's rude because they're holding it close, trying to listen.
Yeah, she's like,
and you just hold,
she's gonna check on this. I control the radio.
Billy winces and he lets go of his bag when he does.
Oh, hang on.
I don't want to know.
Hang on, I'm looking. Drag it back and look inside it. What's in the bag?
Alright, there is a perk.
Oh, that's good stuff.
And there's a spare set of clothes.
No, that's not so good.
And there's a fourth of a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
And there's a water bottle.
Mm.
And a flashlight.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. She's gonna grab the perk because it's a thing she recognizes as useful and probably fumble it in the hands that aren't hands, which she's not quite as used to. And she's gonna mess with it a little bit, and she's gonna kind of toss it in front of her in a huff, going, "Well, that just does not work as well as it used to do. I am definitely gonna need to find a better way to handle that."
Yeah, that's a problem.
Billy, your stuff, well, nice, is not as useful to me as I may have hoped.
he's still sobbing in the bathtub.
All right. Well, this has been an awkward first attempt at robbery. I don't know that I'm particularly good at it, but I'm gonna go ahead and if you want to collect yourself, there's spare clothes. If you wanted to help your spare, here I got the spare clothes. She's gonna carry the spare clothes over to him and just kind of check them at the bath. Okay, Billy. No. Off to the side there. You can wear the spare clothes if that's like an issue, and I'll be on my way.
For you.
It's all right. It's okay. I mean, anywho, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
But I'm taking your gun. And she's gonna grab the gun and bring it with her. Kids shouldn't have guns, she says as she jumps out the window.
Alright, so you've got a gun in your mouth and you're taking off running.
She goes out the side and she's looking. How high up are we?
You're on the second story. So
how tall is the building?
It's probably about a 5-story building.
I'm going to go to the top and see if I can find the people that are supposedly coming to help Billy.
There is no. Well, give me a perception roll. Actually, difficulty 2.
Pretty good.
Okay. You can see several buildings over. It looks like there's a bunch of people in a panic getting their stuff together and putting gear on and pulling on armor.
Okay.
And,
That's pretty good.
They're leaving where they're going and heading this way.
She's gonna fumble the gun a little bit and kind of look at it. Be like, this is gonna be all kinds of crap too. Well, I may not have thought this part through. She's gonna kind of stare at it a little bit, and she's gonna crawl back down the building really quick, gun in the hand, peek back into the room that has Billy in it.
He's still sobbing.
Billy, I changed my mind, but don't play with it. I don't want you to get hurt. And she drops the gun, goes back up to the top of the building.
Unfortunately, the gun was loaded, so I am gonna have to do a roll to see if it goes off. Just out of curiosity, we're gonna say there's a 20% chance on a low, so 1 to 20 it goes off.
All right. Okay, we're good. Okay, that's off the
We're
side. That is the sort of reason why you put the safety on the gun, Billy.
Doesn't go off.
Anywho, stay off drugs. She goes upstairs, walks up to the top building, looks back and peers off in the distance at the people approaching again, going,
There's flashlights.
Okay.
Definitely.
I wonder. Oh.
There's about 5 of them.
And she paces back and forth. I wonder if I can fly. I haven't tried that before.
Oh.
No, wait. I probably shouldn't be thinking about that right now, but this is a good opportunity. No.
I want to see this happen.
Yeah,
All right, so
no.
on the shortwave downstairs, Billy's getting a, I wonder if I can fly.
Yeah, pretty much. There's getting a whole lot of, should I try that? Should I not try that? Now, at the same time, though, she's actually listening to incoming. So if they're broadcasting to Billy, that's supposed to be something that she's picking up.
There's a lot of broadcasting going to Billy of, are you okay? Are you alive? We don't understand you. Use your words, Billy. Billy, what did she do to you? Billy, please talk to us. Oh God, I think Billy's really fucked up. There's always like, can somebody get our runner? Go back to base. To tell Denry that Billy's hurt. We think.
Ah, okay. All right. Where's base? She's gonna try to find this runner person.
All right, you see after a couple minutes of you saying that the guys are making their way, down the street toward you. You see their flashlights going. You see another flashlight suddenly come out and take off, bobbing down the street, running really fast.
That's the flashlight I want. She's gonna look at the end of the building, gonna lick her lips and go, "I am the wind," and leap off the edge.
Radio, and you can hear it echoing from Billy's, and then down below as they're coming at the bottom of the building. I am the wind.
I'm assuming I am somewhere in the range of the fifth story, right? Because that's what you said.
That's
What's
the
that?
story.
Okay, so 50 feet up on Mars is D6 wounds. I'm leaping.
Right.
Whee!
Can you fly?
She's trying to find out. That's not an actual ability that I have, but she doesn't know that.
Oh no! Alright, so you leap. Give me an athletics check. We'll see how far you get.
Okay. Just a second, I'm popping over to a record sheet. Character progression. There we go. Load.
And this, kids, is what happens when you have one player that doesn't want to join the rest right away.
What did you want on difficulty?
I'm gonna say difficulty 4. You are trying to fly.
No, I'm succeeding at falling.
No, but you, in your mind, think you can fly, and you are trying to fly.
It's going to
You are
consist
not
of some
trying to
violent wiggles.
falling. So you are going to do some violent wiggling through the air to try and get distance. Because you're trying to
You're
get.
trying to be one of those glidey snakes.
Yeah. You're gonna put your arms out and everything. It's gonna be great.
I do have a boon in this.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to declare that I'm going to succeed on a 12, but if I succeed, I can fly.
We'll see.
No, I'll make it on a 10. Why not?
You'll make it. You might make it to the next building. We'll see.
Oh, so close.
I can fly. I can fly.
For a second there, she feels like she's getting it, and then about halfway down the building, it is apparent that I cannot fly. How well can I land?
See, that's what we were kind of hoping to see. So D6, you're taking 5 wounds. That's a crunch.
I have happy landings, so it's 3.
Oh, then why did you tell me D6?
Because it's the D6 normally. It goes to...
All right, well it's 2.
No, it's half of what's rolled.
Oh well.
Yeah, so it's
2 or 3 still then, right?
Yeah, it'd be 3 because everything rounds up.
Okay. All right, so you take 3 wounds as you crash to the ground. As
She
the
thumbs.
Ow!
Ow! Okay, flying's not a thing I can do. Maybe later. She's gonna start shaking it off. Just walk it up. Okay, go get the flashlight now.
I want you to give me an endure save because you did just fall off a building.
What difficulty?
Let's say difficulty 2. It's not that bad, but you're already taking wounds from it. I'm thinking there might be some shock involved with how hard you hit the ground. Just see if you're stunned for a moment,
Where's my endure? I think it'd be 1. Oh.
Okay, it knocked you silly when you landed on the ground for a minute there. Like, oh, whoa. I mean, you've had drugs in your systems today. But Jesus, maybe that's why you thought you could fly. So, you stars, you get like everything kind of like wobbles for a second, and you kind of focus in on that flashlight in the distance, and then you start tearing off after it. What's your movement?
9.
9. Are you trying to stealth while chasing this poor kid down?
I'm actually trying to outpace him when I can figure out where he's going. I assume he's trying to go in a straight line, so I'm going to try to get ahead of him.
He is actually diving and weaving through different streets.
Oh,
It
okay.
is
Well, then I will
because
try to go behind
because
him.
these kids are trained not to lead people back to the other kids. So he does seem like he's kind of doing that. So give me a stealth if you're trying to like let him not think he's being followed.
Let's see if I can pull that off. What difficulty?
I'll say difficulty 1. He's not really looking.
Let's see here.
I mean, he's kind of looking, but he's also a kid that's been trained to do this, not an adult.
And ding. Oh, I made it.
All right, so you manage to stick to the shadows as this kid is dodging and weaving, looking around very paranoidly. Like you're actually like kind of like thinking to yourself, man, these kids are scared, right? And this kid that you're chasing, it looks like he's probably 10. It's actually a little what kind of a vector? We'll say it's a rabbit. It's a white hare. You're chasing the white rabbit. And so you're chasing the white rabbit down the street, and his hair isn't that white. It's kind of more gray and dingy. And he suddenly comes running up on a door where there's some rather kind of imposing-looking people standing in front of it, and I've got to see Denry! I've got to see Denry! Oh no! You don't understand. Billy's in trouble! And the two adults at the door are trying to talk to him, and he's like, there's a lot of conversation going on that you can't quite hear, and then the kid gets rushed inside.
I'm gonna try to hear if there's any kind of radio chatter on the other side of the door. If anybody's talking to each other.
You're listening for radio chatter.
Yeah.
After the first couple minutes, there's no radio chatter, and then you hear kind of a gruff voice. Hey kids, let's mobilize over into Sector 3. There's somebody just attacked one of our scouts.
All right.
Might be spirals.
She's gonna chime in on the other side. So like attacked might be a little overblown.
Who the fuck is this?
I'm somebody. That sounded better in my head. Well, this is in my head, but okay, listen. So Billy's fine. And I didn't take his gun, although I should have, because that was highly irresponsible.
There is silence for a moment, and there is a sudden, very flat-sounding reply of "Pass to the left." I don't know who this is, but we are just some regular folks down here having a regular day. I hope you have a good day, and goodbye.
Hello? Hello?
Inside, Denry comes bursting into the room where Aaron, Amelia, and Zuri are kind of hanging out, and you've been kind of talking about territory and stuff like that. And, Denry is looking a little disheveled. This has been a hard day for him. Denry's having a bad day, guys, and he's got a radio in one hand, and he's looks like he's flipping it to different channels. And because I'm not sure whatever channel you were on, he doesn't seem to be on it right now. But if you can flip different channels, Miko, you can catch him on a different channel. Telling everybody mobilize, we have to move.
Yeah, it allows you to hear anything, but you don't get translations. Like if they're speaking over encryption, all I hear is encrypted noise.
Yeah, they're just swapping channels. But
yeah,
so
she can follow channels.
You can follow the channel, but you can tell that he swapped channel. Like he was trying to dodge you. He thought that would work, and he dodges to a different channel, telling the kids, "Hey kids, we're mobilizing. Pull everybody up. We've got to move. We're compromised. I think the IRPF is coming down. Let's go." And he comes out in the room, and he's holding the radio, and he's like, "Amelia, get the kids going. We got somebody hacked into our communications. They attacked Billy. We got to get going."
So real quick.
He's looking at the radio, and he's like, "Shit, they're
Are
good."
you not the people who chop people up?
No, we are not affiliated with the Spirals.
Yeah, but the people who chop people up, are you affiliated with them?
Oh, for
No,
God's
those
sake,
are the
I'm
Spirals.
going over and taking the radio.
It's like, who the fuck is this?
Oh, no, that sounds like the people who chop people up. Now I'm all kinds of concerned.
It's like okay.
Listen, I've had like a day, which actually it was kind of fun, and a weirdly sort of like I've never done this before kind of way. But I was in a spot where people were chopping people up, and I found some other people were getting chopped up, and then a fire started, and we kind of ran out of there. And I mean, there was one of them who was looking around to try to find their stuff, and I was trying to. I'm rambling. The point is, I'm looking to avoid the people who chop people up, and also I want some stuff.
Oh my god, you just said so much and none of it was who you are.
That's what Amelia says.
Yes.
And Denry just takes the radio back and goes, "Are you another survivor of the fire? We got another one in here."
Oh, were they like kind of shiny, white shelled, nice hair?
And
Oh
he
my
hands
God.
the radio over to Zuri. I think
Does
it's one of
nobody-
your friends.
Does nobody
What?
do security checks anymore?
Friends?
There, he offers you the radio. I think this is your friend.
I don't know. Well, I don't have any friends around here, but hello?
Hi, friend.
Oh wait, you're the bioprobe.
Yeah, I didn't get my stuff back.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't get my stuff either. So
Oh, so I guess the stuff supply in there is somewhat low.
I don't know. They seem to have a lot of stuff here, but it's their stuff, so I didn't really look around much.
Have they yet attempted to remove your limbs?
No, not recently.
I'm in the right place.
Okay, yeah. Zuri says, "Oh, they were in the building with me. We kind of fled together, and I'm pretty sure they're not IRPF or the Spirals."
Actually, I'm wanted for small crimes.
Oh.
He kind of frowns a bit and he goes, "Go bring him in." Preferably,
They look a bit weird, so don't be surprised.
He kind of laughs at that and makes a brief gesture, like,
Still,
yeah,
Okay, cool.
He really can't say anything. He looks over at Amelia and he kind of leaves over to you and goes, "Make sure they don't shoot anybody."
Like, oh man, that's what I wanted to do when I woke up today was babysit the supermodel squad.
Well, congratulations, your dream come true. And he's just saying it really flatly, like you have no idea my shit today.
I don't think they can shoot people. You'll see why.
All right. And he's gonna kind of he's gonna kind of nudge the two of you out, and he's gonna look at Aaron and go, "Hey kid, why don't you stay back here with me? We don't know what this is gonna be like, all right?"
Okay.
And he's gonna kind of tussle your hair a bit, and he goes, "You look like a smart one. I bet you can do all sorts of things. You fix stuff?"
No.
Oh.
Well, you're cute anyway.
You're cute. You'll be fine. Everybody hopes. He's like, "Hey, but you're smart. And you can fix stuff."
I mean, I've never tried.
Well, you might learn. We'll see. I got a whole bunch of broken crap. Alright, so I'm assuming Zuri and Amelia will come out into the street. The two guards at the door are kind of gonna back up and be watching just in case, because everyone's expecting RPF sudden sting right now. This is looking worrying.
Miko will come out of the shadows a little bit and attempt to not look particularly menacing. She doesn't have complete control of her overall emotional or portrayal at this point, so.
Oh
The-
yeah, that's them. Yeah, I'll recognize that. Yeah.
All right.
Hi. I actually I never got your name. What's your name?
I'm Miko, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going by.
Okay, I'm Zuri.
She will kind of give a little wave and kind of look around, being like, "So just so I know, is this the part where I can run for my life or something, or is there an ambush? I'm waiting for the ambush."
No,
Amelia,
it's-
you're probably
I
thinking
haven't
the
been
same thing,
ambushed
Amelia.
yet.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, if neither one of us is ambushing, I'm ready to come in now.
the two guards at the door kind of make a motion towards the door, and they don't have weapons out. They're just making a.
She'll walk toward it and then stop in front of it and go, "The ambush would happen on the inside." Well, shit. She'll just walk in.
Listen, Miko. I'm pretty sure these are good people. They made an okay impression on me.
Yeah, I'll say. Look at the back of your head.
What? What's with the back of? Oh God! What happened to the back of my head?
Somebody made a pretty okay impression.
Well, it wasn't them.
Oh, good. Because I don't want one.
Didn't look good on you, and it won't look good on me.
I'm there, right?
Yeah, you're there.
I want to look at the back of her head.
It looks like somebody has drilled the hole back there into the back of the cog's head.
How big is it?
It's about a little bit smaller than a golf ball.
Do not wet willy the back of the cog's head. I know you're thinking it.
It doesn't seem like it's leaking anything, but it definitely did expose a lot of electronics.
I was like, geez, I bet I could fit. Geez, you could fit. Somebody could fit their finger in there.
That's like a lobotomy right there. It just.
I'm just gonna kind of tap.
Don't put your finger in my brain.
Like, I'm not putting my finger into her cranium hole. I'm just like poking the outside of it with my knuckle.
Like, whoa, look at that. Whoa. Let me just do this a little bit.
Like, can you feel that? I mean, I'm in there to like the third knuckle. Like, I grew an extra knuckle to do this.
Take your finger out of my head, okay? This is not cool.
Alright, so the guards are kind of giving this a weird look. But, Miko, you can come through the door, and it looks like a shelter for wayward children almost in here. There's just a lot of waifs and just a lot of very poor homeless-looking people that don't have any clothes,
Lots of
good
wastrels.
clothes. And, a lot of whatever. And there's just a very kind of hideous-looking Hemi. Like it's got the disfigured.
Oh my God.
Werewolf looking. Doesn't look that great. It looks like somebody could have benefited from a really good doctor.
She flashes a variety of alarmed colors.
Yeah,
and
he's kind of protectively standing in front of a small kind of blondish looking blip.
Yeah, well, you're cute. But yeah, we could do some. Well, I guess I can't do some work anymore. But if you come to me like a week ago, I could have. Oh, wow, you're like a paycheck.
What?
He kind of frowns a bit, and he goes, "So you're Zuri's friend."
Yes. If that increases
right.
my
Did they
cred.
just capture every shiny person that they could find. He's like looking you over because you got that beautiful like fin with all the Technicolor rainbow. You look like something mad. This is like magic lizard dog thing that just came in. I mean, all the kids are just like their eyes have dilated because they're not sure if this is what a unicorn looks like.
It may be. She has been accused of that upon dropping the ice cream cone on her head.
Yeah, so there is a lot of whispers of, wow, is that a dragon? Or, oh, is that what a unicorn looks like? Wow.
I will admit to being all these things.
There's just a lot of impressed, whispering going on. These kids are never seen anything like this before, and they are. I mean, they've seen laterals before, but most of the laterals down here are like raccoons, or things like that. They're usually more standard-looking animals. They haven't seen a blip lateral. This is, I mean, you're just impressively, built to look great, and that's just way beyond their pay grade.
She will flash a variety of colors, pleased with her own craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but as Amelia and Zuri, you guys come back in, you can kind of catch that all the kids are really just starstruck, but at Miko, and they still are kind of fawning over Zuri, but it's just like that they're like they don't even understand what this magical creature is, right? Because they've never seen anything like it in their lives. And Stottle seems a little worried looking as he's kind of looking Miko up and down.
She'll lean her head over to the side a little bit, looking at Aaron and wink and say, "Don't worry, I cost more."
Aaron looks confused.
By the way, Aaron, Technicolor rainbow.
Yeah, but no.
Definitely not Mom.
No. That is not a rainbow cat.
It's not a rainbow cat. Who knows what that is, right? Yeah, but the subtle kind of puts a hand out kind of worriedly, and he's like, "We already extended Zuri as much protection as we can offer while she stays here. We can try to help you out, I guess. It's gonna be rough. You both are a bit showy, and the spirals have a tendency to take anything that glitz and glamours, and well, they make us regret it.
Well, that's awfully kind of you, except I'm not really sure what you're talking about.
A gang down here. They're called the Spirals. They run chop shops, and they take people off the streets, and they take them apart for parts.
Oh,
Sounds like
that's
you
what
Zuri
was
were taken
going
apart.
on. Oh, I am completely proprietary. They would have wasted an awful lot of time.
He kind of laughs and he goes, I don't know. They take whatever they want and they use it for their own needs. Their boss, JD, he's kind of a big deal around here. Now, I can set you folks up, and if you don't mind doing some work down here, we can try and help arrange more gear and more supplies for you. And I know
She will
a
light
couple
up at the
folks
prospect of stuff.
are interested in getting top side with maybe some different identities.
Her lights will fade.
Yeah.
The ears will go down a little bit. So, like, what if somebody was looking to stay downside?
We can also arrange for that too. This is our world. This is where we live. We'd like to keep it going. So you and Zuri both lost all your equipment, right?
Yep. Well, I mean, I did. I presume that she did.
Zuri, did you lose all your equipment? I thought I heard that earlier.
Yeah. At the very least, I don't know where it is.
Alright. He's gonna look over at Amelia and he's gonna nod to her to follow, and he's gonna motion to Aaron to come with because he's just kind of keeping an eye on Aaron because Aaron's new and easily, like, the other kids don't seem like they're being super friendly with Aaron yet. So he invites Aaron to come along, and he goes, "Come on, Aaron, it'll be fun for you too." And he takes you guys out to the warehouse area that they have. It's not much of a warehouse. It's kind of like this building had a room in it that isn't being used, and they've been piling stuff up.
It's
in
not
it.
so much of a
And
warehouse as it is a their house.
It's a their house.
It was just
and,
there.
It's just kind of there. I mean, it's kind of like put together. There's an old filing cabinet in this room, and there's a bunch of dusty boxes, and you can tell that this is stuff that they grab into backpacks and they haul from place to place. And they go, "Well, we got some meager supplies here. We've managed to steal from a couple of our own raids. I don't know if anything here will help you." He pulls out a perk kit and offers it to the two of you, and he goes, "I don't have very many of these. We had a lot of sick people, especially when the plague hit last year. They tried to clean up a bit of the population down here. Progenitus has a plenty good cure-all if you go topside, but if you're down here, they won't do nothing for you." And he starts, pulling out various different things, and he pulls out like a harness that has like some lights on it and things. He pulls out what looks like a saddle that would fit something maybe that was more bird and wyvern like and less like what Miko maybe is. And he's like, "Any of these things we got, we might be able to adjust for you guys. We might be able to do it." And in the course of doing this, he manages to find the approximation of the gear you guys lost. It's just not quite the brands you had previously, but he manages to find about as much stuff as you guys have lost and can give it to you.
Nice.
So I will pick up the equipment that I bought, but the stuff that I lost was all completely useless shit. Like she lost clothing that she couldn't wear, a saddle that she hadn't tried on. She lost like a teddy bear. Like there were things that she had picked up that were completely inane because she had no idea what it was she needed.
Oh my god.
None of this was functional equipment nor anything of any particular value except for the 6 toggles and new toggle cases that would have been extremely useful right about now.
And see, you're trying to explain to him that you had 6 toggles and 6 toggle cases, and he's just giving you this blank look.
I goes, "Well, I mean, I thought I might need a phone. But then I realized I couldn't tap on the first one, so I got a different one that worked differently. Then I got one of those machines that let me type on the phone, so then that got redundant. And I saw a third one that I'd always wanted. I figured if I'm just buying new stuff, right, I might as well get a third one. I think I took the 4th one. I probably did. I got that 5th one so I could replace the 4th one that I took from that guy. But then I realized I wasn't going back up to the top. Where did the
Nice.
6th one come from? Maybe I didn't have 6.
By the way, the way you're talking sounds stupidly opulent to the people who've been down here forever. I mean, it sounds just wasteful and horrible.
It is fairly wasteful and horrible.
It
What
is
she
fairly
isn't letting
wasteful and
on is
horrible.
that this was all taken from the life savings of the previous personality that she had that she then bottomed out, and it's why she's currently like.
Yeah, but I'm just saying from the perspective of these people, you just sound like you just were throwing things away that they were just they're just desperate to have.
Amelia just looks like she's in hell.
Yeah. And Stottle looks a little put off a bit from it because you can tell he's a little. Yeah,
That was
I
all
mean,
burned up. That one burned
Yeah.
up. I had a crown. I want the crown back.
There he goes. If you guys are interested in getting some revenge on them guys, I wouldn't mind that either. We're kind of sick of them down here.
Here, here. I think.
Oh my god,
I mean,
is
it
there an
seems like something
opportunity
to
for
do.
me to do something useful?
Yeah, opportunity for you guys to do something useful. But why don't you guys get settled in, and maybe I can keep the 4 of you together. You don't mind teaching Aaron local safety places. We can work something out. I'm trying it again, Amelia. We're gonna get it working this time.
I just would like to note that Zuri is like looking through the stuff, and like picking out fairly normal things, like a backpack, a flashlight and stuff. Actually picks up like a sort of a tool belt. Says, "Oh, useful, yay!" And for a couple of moments, her ears light up. Actually, literally.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you got a text.
her hair and her lights take on a very happy shade of yellow. And then she rolls off and grabs a rifle that's almost as long as she is tall. And then a surprisingly
Dinner actually eyes go wide a little bit, and Amelia, that was a hard got item that's getting picked up, but he's letting it go.
It's like, really?
Really? She actually like holds it, and tests like the scope and everything in a surprisingly professional manner. She's definitely at least handled something like that before.
Denry kind of quietly takes Amelia off the side and goes, "Can you make sure? I mean, I don't mean to make you a babysitter, but you're reliable."
It's like, you're just like, we don't even know who these people are. You're just bringing them in and like letting them rifle through our stuff.
We got a couple eyes that said they saw them leaving the site. If they fucked around with the spirals, they're gonna need somewhere to be. And I'd rather have those kids running around with knives, with guns in their hands, taking a shot, than our kids.
I mean, there is some logic to that. Is your local 12-year-old going to pick up the giant sniper rifle and go into the war?
He kind of frowns and he goes, I mean, Billy can't cut it. I should have never put him out on post.
I'm going to assume that I can't hear any of this. I should just be like nodding cheerfully.
Billy should have never been out on post. We're stretched as thin as we can be, and most likely they won't make it. And if they don't, we'll try to reclaim the gear. Just watch after you and Aaron, all right?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's get you guys settled in for the night, and we're gonna make you a little team, and we'll start working things out. Aaron, I'll start seeing what we're gonna need to get together. I'm gonna need to do some trades, but we'll try and figure out how to get you a fake ID so you can get topside. All right?
Okay, thank you.
We'll do everything we can for you, kiddo. He tussles Aaron's hair a bit.
Actually, I can make him one.
He kind of looks over at you and he's like, "What?"
I used to make blips. I've made hundreds of IDs.
Do you have access to the machines and the computers to do that?
I know what they look like. I mean, I know what you need to put on it.
No, but we need to make actual fake accounts out there. I got somebody topside that'll do
Well,
it for a ride.
I mean, use your connection.
That's what I'm working on.
You don't have
What?
one?
What do you mean?
How are you guys like tapped into any of the services?
What are you
Services?
talking
What's
about?
the services?
I mean, like any of them, air filtration, healthcare, etc.
Hey, Miko. I don't think they have all that stuff down here.
Now you're confused.
It's like corps don't take care of us down here. We take care of ourselves, and we steal what they won't give us.
Well, I get that you're not paying for them, but the service is still there, right?
Yeah,
There's
if we
awkward
hack
silence.
something, then
I guess there's air in the air.
She's going to go over to the localist console and discover that it is in fact a desk with a picture on it.
Yep. there is this awkward moment of, oh, I think I've
Why
heard
isn't
of
the
this before.
smart glass
People do
working?
this when they're
Oh.
going camping, but it's like worse than camping. Because even when you're camping, you can still use your toggle.
Camping without VR goggles.
And wait, so you said you make people like me?
Yeah, well, and me.
Did you make me?
No.
Are you my
No,
model?
you were not. No. I mean, it's fine work, I guess, if you're into that.
What?
Huh?
Oh, it's terrible.
You don't. I don't think you don't. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't recognize your model. You're probably somebody's custom job.
Okay.
it's like, hear that, kid? You're custom. I just like ruffle his hair.
Is that good? I guess it's good.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were expensive, probably.
Cool.
She nods. Like, yeah, cool. Come on. Everybody wants to be worth something, right?
Then he just shakes his head and he goes, "Take what you need, and we'll sort the rest of this out." Amelia, we're putting the plan together again. We're gonna try and get that printer going.
All right. Cool. Hey,
You know
Aaron,
what that means, right? We're gonna have
What?
to hit them hard. Their patrol's
Um,
gonna be going out in about 8 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Get your shit together and get these guys ready. We're gonna need to. I'll show you the map. We're gonna need you guys ready as soon as their patrol leaves. We gotta hit them, and then we got 48 hours to do what we want in that building.
It's like, hey,
It's Sten's room. You gonna be able to handle that?
oh boy. I mean, with a really good team that's well trained and I trust, sure, yeah.
Are you gonna be able to do it with this?
I mean, I've got.
Mika will
me,
probably
and I
knock
was
something
like-
over that she was fumbling with.
It's like, well, I've got me and I got this, and I pull my gun out. And like, this is the team that usually gets everything done. So
Yeah. You wanna try going out, Aaron? Help out? Or Nikit?
Sure. I mean, Mum told me. I mean,
I heard you're pretty sneaky.
yeah, I was taught how to shoot and stuff, but I've never.
You get scared. You don't feel bad about running back, alright? You don't have
Okay.
to stick in, alright?
Okay.
Alright, get some rest. 8 hours. You guys are moving out. And, he'll lead you to a kind of a little common room where, Amelia, you know this is where a lot of the patrols usually will rest before they go out to do a hit. And, you know, Sten, you used to work with Sten. You have history there, Amelia.
okay.
You thought he was going to betray you at one point when you used to work with Spirals. And you kind of are left thinking about how you're going to hit one of their strongholds. in 8 hours as we stop game for the night. We're gonna stop a little early.
Oh my
Hopefully
god.
you guys had fun.
Yes.
Ah,
It's definitely.
Everybody gets 16 XMPs.
oh my god.
Yay.
Oh, wow.
Yay. Yeah. But everybody gets 16 XPs, and I'm gonna write that down on my thing. XP session 1. There, I did that. So, in case you guys ever forget, there is a tracking thing in Discord, and that is
Oh,
where
cool.
I am typing how much XP you got per session. And as a result of the sessions, even though we didn't have any combat, we're gonna say everybody got 50
Fun
credits,
bucks?
or fun bucks as they were.
Hobo
because
bucks.
Books.
they're hobucks. So
Hoboken.
that, and we will be kind of moving forward, and we'll be kind of playing around with people's backstory and things that I have done horribly to Tygon's character in the
Yay.
first session. And I'm sorry, Tygon, I planned that way ahead. That I knew that anything tragic could happen to your character already, but you know.
I'm kind of getting used to it.
Hopefully, Ellie will be rested for next session.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be rested. And don't worry, I'm planning on starting the next session with Nightmares for Miko, so we'll do that.
Nice.
Can I throw something in before we wrap up?
Sure.
So I'm sitting there, like, Amelia's sitting there thinking about, the connections to this. She's like taking her gun apart and cleaning it. It's like the only thing she cleans. It's like hair and
As she is deep in thought and
yeah?
cleaning the gun. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Touches his hair.
just like, yeah, I don't really like the way they treated your folks after that whole thing. So,
No.
like, I mean, the kids will warm up to you, but if they pick on you, you let me know because they're afraid of me.
Okay, I can see why, but thank you.
And he just like sits there silently for the rest of the night. Like, brooding.
As you are looking over to Erin and telling her, I'll take him out for you, and you look back toward your gun, the camera pans over, and Miko is consuming the can of one of the spent products just next to you.
And to make that nice and communal, Zuri's gonna sit down and do the same with her new rifle.
You're
Consume
gonna eat
it?
your rifle?
Oh, clean it and stuff.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, you're gonna. So basically, Amelia, you'll end up as you start cleaning, you'll see Zuri start taking very tender care to the rifle that you know that rifle has been sitting in that room for a while, ever since the last owner died. And
That is reassuring.
yeah, and nobody's really felt like they were, ready to lift such a beautiful piece of machinery up.
I can have focus now.
Yes, you can have focus now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream, but hopefully everyone had an okay time.
Goodbye, everybody.